All right, we are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to This Week Unloaded. Sorry for the delay. I was waiting for Budget to get finished before I sent the links out because he was doing his makeup show tonight, and then I was giving people time to get in here. So far, we have Mr. David Bulling with us. How are you tonight, David?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem. And John, that's a cop out answer. If RL, aka Black Cat Outdoors, can run his mouth from the cab of a semi driving down the road, you can do it from a car.
Hey, the past 2 weeks in a row, I was doing drywall mud while on Caliber Corner.
There you go.
John G just doesn't like me. That's all it is.
Yeah,
No, that's a good dude. I really like him, man.
yeah. John's a goofball. He really is. He was. He's actually supposed to be part of this show every week, but for some reason he decided he doesn't have to show up anymore because John's a naughty boy living up there in New York City.
He said something about the check bounced or something like that. I don't
Check. You want to get
know.
paid? Who do you think I am? I can't afford to pay him. Paid. You think I am Yankee Marshall? You think I got Yankee Marshall
Nah, you clearly stand out from Yankee. You make sense a lot.
money? uh,
So you want to go right into the story and talk about the
well, I don't think the people out there don't know what the story is yet. We haven't introduced the story.
all right, that's very true.
Okay, before we so David wants me to tell this story. We were talking before the chat, and it's about what he was going to get his dad, right? Because he wants to get his dad a 2-in-1. That's why I put the link out there in the YouTube chat because he can't see the side chat in the Hangout because he's on his phone. He's got his computer with the YouTube chat. So I threw that out there on the YouTube side so he could see, get the link. So that's why that link was out there. That wasn't for anybody else. Everybody else can just ignore it. And then we were talking, and I was telling him about how my wife got a free laptop from Dell, and that it was a kind of funny story because of what happened. Some of you out there may have already heard this story, but David hasn't. Okay. So, what happened back when the Sandy Bridge Intel processors first came out? They had a recall on them. We had just ordered a Dell desktop and my wife's laptop and a laptop bag for her laptop. They gave us the option of waiting however long it was going to take for the Sandy Hook thing to, not Sandy Bridge, excuse me. Ironically enough, they both happened around the same time. So, you know, anyway, that happened. So we canceled the order, right? So they sent the wife's laptop out. They sent the laptop bag. They charged us for the laptop bag and not the laptop. So we paid for it through PayPal and everything. I contact Dell and get their call center in India. The guy I spoke to hardly spoke English. He tells me, "Oh, okay, we'll look into it. We'll investigate and we'll see what's going on." And he's like, "We'll call you back in a couple of days and let you know what we find out." Right? So, in other words, I'm being honest and letting them know they didn't charge us for the laptop. Okay. So a week goes by. I don't hear from Dell. I call them again to find out what's going on, give them the reference number and everything, and get told, "Oh, we're still investigating it." That give them a couple of days and they'll get back to us. And by the way, it was the call center in India again, and the guy hardly spoke any damn English. So a week goes by, again, another week. I contact PayPal, and they tell me if by the end of the month they don't take the money out, it's on them. I've did everything possible, and if they were gonna let Dell know as well, and yada yada, basically they said it wouldn't be my fault; it would be Dell's fault, and they would back me up on that in any way possible. So another week goes by. I contact Dell once again for the last time and get the same damn response. We're investigating it. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. At this point, I throw my hands up in the air and say, holy shit, this is the first time I've ever heard of somebody buying a laptop I can get a free laptop. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, the only thing else you could do is beg them to come take your money.
I mean,
I mean,
seriously, I'm like, I did everything I could to be honest, and these morons never did take their money. Never. They never took they never took the payment. This
yeah,
was
I
like a
guess
$700 laptop. We're like, hey, buy a $35 laptop bag, get a free $700 laptop.
I'm gonna stop at the Ford dealership tomorrow and see if I can get a truck for free.
Oh, you have to buy a set of tires.
That's a good trade.
Buy a set of Goodyear snow tires and get a free Ford F-150.
Right.
But yeah, that's what happened. Rooston says seat covers. Buy a set of seat covers and get the F-150 free.
Right.
Or a tonneau cover, buy the tonneau cover, or a bed liner. But yeah,
So what's with the Christmas present? Tell me more about the Christmas present. This 22 lever action.
yeah, it's a Henry 22. Um, Let me see. We'll link up and show the folks out there on YouTube. On the YouTubes. Can't do the gun channels right now. Because I still got to get that straightened out. I keep forgetting to talk to G Webs about it. Because I'm an idiot. And I freely admit it. Okay, here we are. Copy that. Paste. And send. There is what I am getting for Christmas. That is
Yeah.
the Henry Classic Lever Action 22. Oh, gee, A&A's out there. We were talking about him earlier.
Yeah, that thing's pretty nice looking. I like that.
Yeah, that the walnut and everything on that is really sharp looking.
Only thing you need to do is throw a bipod on it, throw a laser, throw a big scope on it.
No, that's not something you put. That's not a tactical weapon. No, that's old West tactical maybe.
I like the picture when you scroll down where it's sitting on top of the tree stump.
That's exactly the picture I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. For you lazy people out there who can't click on a link. Whee! I just like doing that. The infinite screens. But yeah, there's the picture we're talking about. That is a sharp looking 22 rifle right there. And that the action on that thing is so smooth.
What do you think about accuracy? Do you think that you can stay on target pretty, be able to repeat get a nice set of group with a lever action? Or do you think the regular semi-automatic is clearly far more accurate?
No, I wouldn't say semi-autos are inherently more accurate than a lever gun or a bolt action.
Well, it just seems, obviously you watch the old westerns and, Roy Rogers is cracking off 10 shots real fast and they're all going through the same hole. But when you're sitting there, like if you scroll further down, you see the guy standing there holding the gun. I guess you could play that video. And it just seems like when you rock the lever forward, especially if you're trying to get off a lot of shots pretty fast, it's going to cause that barrel to jump around.
No, not really. They're actually very smooth to operate quickly. I've shot lever guns before.
Well, I've shot lever BB guns before, and then at the range, my friend has a couple lever guns, but those are you got to be on the bench. You, you can stand, but you still have to only take one shot every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So, there's no real reason to stand up when you can, if you're just
yeah.
plinking
I've
target.
I've rapid fired um what was it? J.C. Higgins, which was a Sears store brand 3030, but it was actually a Marlin 336. Marlin made them for Sears, and then just instead of stamping the Marlin name on them, they stamped the J.C. Higgins name. Well, it was the exact same thing as the 336, and it cost you $100 less because it was the Sears store brand. And a lever gun, they're you can rapid fire them and be on target. It's not hard. And 22 is even easier because it doesn't have the recoil of 3030. I've,
Yeah.
I've done it with a Winchester 22 lever gun before. So the
Yeah.
reason why the lever gun was the one that quote unquote tamed the West, you know?
As far as I think it's one of the best looking guns out there, the lever action type of rifles.
Yeah. I
And
prefer the one that has the grip that curves down more. But for the price that this was, and the fact that you can't get the Henry 22 with the more Monte Carlo style stock, you have to go with the straight back. I'll take it every day. you know,
right.
I mean, if I told you what my kids paid for this, because my son's the one that actually went and picked it up, and because Black around Thanksgiving and Black Friday, they had a 2 day window because Walmart started their Black Friday sales Thanksgiving night, where they were given, in addition to their normal discount card, which gives them 10% off of everything, they had a black card that gave them an additional 15% off.
Oh,
So
nice.
in total, my son got 25% off on the cost of that rifle. The rifle's normal price was 278. So you do the math. He got
Well,
a sweet deal on that.
now how does that work in West Virginia? Did he buy the gun and he's gifting it to you, or did he
Yeah,
just pay for the gun and you filled out
he
paperwork or
he
whatever?
bought he bought the gun. You did the 4473 in his name, and then he's gifting it to me.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool, man. That's a nice gift.
Yeah, and that just shows that Sarge's show worked.
Yeah, subliminal messaging.
Yeah. Yeah, remember 2 weeks ago, Sarge was doing the Christmas gift episode.
Yep.
This was one of the ones that I said. If everybody out there in the chat goes back and watches that episode that Sarge did a couple weeks ago, where he was asking the guests what they would want for a Christmas gift, this was one of the ones that was on my list. I believe this was the second one. The first one was the um, AR-15 pistol grip that takes the wooden grip panels, the scales like you would put on a revolver or a 1911 kind of thing. And this was the second one. So yeah. So let's stop sharing that. I think you people have got a good look at what that is. Oh, and it is also railed where you can put like a Weaver style scope on there, as you can see. It's got the slot milled into the top.
Yeah, see, I don't think I'd be putting a scope on that.
Yeah, you can put a low power 22 scope on there easy.
Yeah, it also depends, like I was saying earlier before that the show started, the 22 Magnum and the 45 Long Colt, that I gotta wait till Friday to see if the guy's gonna sell or not. I want them because I like them and I like to shoot them and they're really beautiful, but I don't plan on using them. Those are both probably go right into my collector's pieces where I'll take out, 2 or 3 times a year and shoot as opposed to, every other weekend.
Oh yeah, this thing here is going to get some use. You know, 22 ammo does not cost a whole lot. You can find it anywhere,
Sure,
and
yeah.
it's just going to be a fun plinker. Go to the range, pretend you're Chuck Connors in The Rifleman, or John Wayne in Rio Bravo, or John Wayne in El Dorado, or any other of the movies where he used the lever gun. Of course, it doesn't have the big loop, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, right?
Well, I mean, this is America. Of course they can be.
Yeah, they're out there now talking about Patriots Blind Challenge. I got mine done today and uploaded it right away.
Yeah, I saw you had to upload it twice because I went to go watch the first one and you took it down.
Yeah, I accidentally uploaded the first one where my daughter screwed up, and it was only like 9 seconds long. So they're like, shit, I uploaded the wrong one. Had to delete that one real quick and then upload the other one.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that after the show is over. Which gun did you do it on?
I did it on my 627. I think
Nice.
everybody else was doing semi-autos because originally I was going to do it on my HK USP, but then there was a plethora of people that did them on semi-auto. So I'm like, I had my 627 sitting here, so I'm like, I'll just do it on that. You know,
Oh,
see, there's
unless
a
he's
whole lot of people that did them on, and all semi-autos or
unless
goofy stuff like
unless
Midnight.
he's joking. Psycho 316 said he's gonna do a blind challenge on his MREs, but he might be joking around.
Yeah, Matt was talking in his chat tonight that he was going to do one, but he keeps forgetting to do it. I was like, dude, you only got till midnight. You better get on that.
Yeah, I did a range shoot today. Uh, it's pretty crappy because I go to a public range and they're not going to be exactly happy about me putting a blindfold on, and they're pretty iffy about letting people film. But there wasn't a whole lot of people there when it opened up, so me and my friend, which was really cool, he was willing to help me film it because it came out a lot better. But I just stood up there and closed my eyes at 5 yards and tried to. I put 9 rounds down my first magazine because I had a misfire, and then 10 rounds down on my second magazine, and I think I was 8 or 9 for 19 on hitting paper, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty big target. It wasn't like a small paper target. It took up the whole backstop almost.
Yeah. I didn't see it. Can't think of anything. Stuff's just randomly falling around here. Um, you know what? I am mad at Numerix right now. And what fell just reminded me of it. Remember how I said I was getting the wooden forend for on my Mossberg 590, and the people I ordered it from swore to God it would fit? It doesn't freaking fit. So
Well,
now I got to
you should have
send that.
asked them if they believed in God when they said that.
What was that, David?
You should have asked them if they believe in God when they said they swear to God.
I am. Oh, like, and the 590 is a pain in the ass to take apart. I swear to, or not to take apart, but to put back together. Oh, I'm still screen sharing. That's what I said. What the hell? Yeah, there we go. Okay. What the freaking hell? One of those days, people. Uh-huh. And what's your excuse for not going to the range? You know you got one. Chris, do I have your email? I don't even know if I got his email. Let's see. No, I don't know if I have his email, so how am I going to check to see if I have his email? I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
Yeah, but we were talking about you A&A before the show started. We were picking on you not getting the what part of West Virginia I live in. You know, he obviously he can't take a hint either. Yeah.
Now they're talking about eating MREs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got two of them and I can't do it. I'm not brave enough to open them up and try them.
Where am I in West Virginia, Stevie? I'm over just south of Cumberland, Maryland, off of 220.
I think Seven said he lives in North Carolina.
Huh? I don't know where Seven Wonders lives. Yeah, but I'm just outside of Kaiser, West Virginia, just outside the city limits. Yep, he didn't get the hint. Dude, I was saying I don't have your email address, or I can't remember what it is if I do have it. Oh,
Did Roosted buy anything on the auction today?
I don't know.
Seven said he was born in West Virginia.
He was born in Wheeling. Man, you might as well just say you were born in Pittsburgh. Wheeling, I mean, saying Wheeling's a separate place. That place, give me an idea of where Wheeling is. It's like right across the border. Check my Facebook Messenger. Under what name, Armament?
Not really helping there, buddy.
Under the Rich White one or Unloaded Media one? Which one do you want me to look under? I have more. He doesn't. Yeah. I hardly ever use Facebook. Why do these people make me use Facebook? Okay, it'll be the. Okay, I see which one he's doing it under. It'll take him 5 hours to answer. Just kidding. Just picking on you there, Armament. Because the hell else I have to do? Okay. Yeah, I don't have a topic really. Nobody showed up to the show from the invites, except David. But yeah, yeah no, I don't want to go there. I want to copy it. I'm already in there. If I'm talking to myself, that's fine. Just ignore it. I do that often. We are still live, right? You're still out there, David?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because you just got quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, I'm just letting you work things out, man.
I can talk and do things at the same time.
Right. So what's next on your firearm purchase? What's your 2019 look like?
God, I don't know. Honestly, as I do a lot, I'll do a lot of things. I'll go looking for one thing, and I'll see something else, and I'll buy it instead. A lot of it is like impulse buys. I want that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Out of all the guns I just bought, because you know I bought four beginning of November. What the hell is that starting for? Yeah, the only one that was a planned buy was the 627. The other ones, the other three were all ones I just walked into the store, saw them, was like, oh, I gotta have that. Well, except for the 642. The 642, my wife saw that and she was like, oh, I gotta have that. So 642 was my wife's doing. I wanted to get the S&W Bodyguard, the M&P Bodyguard 38. She didn't want to wait to go back to the other gun store that's around here. So we got that one. Did you get the email? I think I sent the email. Did I send it? Yeah. I'm like, oh, God, it's one of those days. I can't remember what I just did 2 seconds ago. Yeah, Armament, check your email. Yes, check your email. That's what I was trying to say. And the worst part is, I'm having these problems and I haven't even been drinking.
That might be the problem. Maybe you need to get balanced back out.
Nah, I don't really drink. So. Every once in a while, I might get like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that, but I'm not really a drinker. Never have been.
Me either. I couldn't tell you when the last time I tasted alcohol was.
So I haven't been drunk since I turned 21. It's just this year.
Oh, I mean, as far as even taking a sip, I haven't even, like my friend, occasionally him and his wife would get like a bottle of wine or something like that. And I couldn't even tell you when the last time alcohol passed across my lips.
We cook with it, so I can't make that statement. We do use like Jack Daniels and rum and stuff for cooking. Hey, A&A.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Loud and clear. How
Cool.
you doing?
I'm doing all right. Let me turn my bandwidth down. It's gurgling on this end. All righty. Hey.
Yeah.
Computer's arguing with me. What's up, guys?
Yeah, not much. We were just making fun of you earlier because you can't. Your lack of comprehension on which part of West Virginia I live in.
I was doing my best to stand up for you, and he was just talking all kinds of bad stuff about you, man.
Oh, he's full of it.
It was embarrassing.
It was worse than I was.
Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time.
You make it so easy, though.
Gee, thanks. That's
So
funny. Not a whole lot, man. Speaking of drinking, I have just had my first, so I'm not going to babble too much. But
yeah, You realize alcohol has the opposite effect on people, right?
Anyway, you guys ready for Christmas?
Getting there.
Yeah.
Got the tree up. We got to do that village underneath. That's going to be a project for tomorrow.
Gotcha. Yeah, you asked why we didn't make the range today. My brother he lives down outside of Columbus. I'm up near the lake in Ohio, and he's a member of our range up here. He was supposed to come up, and I guess he's just been like slammed at work, but I can't remember what he said. I'd have to look at the text, but after whatever date, he's going to have like 2.5 weeks off. So hopefully we'll be able to get to the range and do some more. I did, our channel is Armament and Axes, Guns and Guitars. I did make a video yesterday. I changed the tuners on my Epiphone Les Paul, changed the tuners and new strings, cleaned it all up. Got to kind of piece it together. Of course, a lot of it's going to be fast forwarded through because who wants to see me changing tuners at the pace I was doing it at? But anyway, yeah, it's just funny because we're Armament and Axes, and I have one video on our channel that's music. The rest is all guns. So
yeah, I did my Patriot and Dark Blind challenge video today and got that uploaded real quick.
Did you? You said you did that on a revolver?
Yep, I did it on my 627. Have you seen my 627?
I don't think so. So you took the side plate all out and did all that?
No, I wasn't doing that blindfolded. Trying to find those little screws. No. I just explained what was inside of it. I didn't take it apart. That wasn't happening.
I mean, I can see, field stripping a semi-automatic, that's, especially, like I actually had planned on doing it and I never got around to it, but I was going to do my PT-111 G2. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as a Glock. You know what I mean? It comes apart just like a Glock does. You know what I mean? I never got around to doing it.
Yeah, there's the 627.
Let me. To turn my bandwidth back up a little bit.
I swapped out the rubber grips for the Performance Center walnut with the medallion and the diamond with the texturing and everything.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's the Pro Series. This thing shoots so smooth. I mean, here's the double action trigger, right? Hardly any effort at all on that. And then the single action, don't sneeze. It shoots so smooth. And I don't know if you saw this, if you've seen this one yet or not either. Shockwave with the pistol grip and the
with a brace.
yes.
Nice.
In one of those Velcro side saddles.
Mm-hmm.
Hold 6. I think they screwed up when they were making it and put a 12 gauge loop on there, so I got to figure out how to fix that.
Is that elastic or what is that?
Yeah, it's elastic.
Could you just stitch it a little tighter?
Yeah, I can stitch it a little tighter, put some super glue, something like one of those lines.
I know I had one of those on a Maverick 88 that was it mounted, through the pins or whatever, but it was an elastic holder, and it stretched out after a while, and that's what I did. I just went in and just ran another line of stitching across and tightened her back up.
Well, you can buy the replacement cards for that. That's just the super adhesive Velcro, the industrial strength adhesive on the back of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I tell you that some of the Velcro, and it's not even Velcro really. I mean,
did you hear that?
Yeah.
This is Velcro.
Some of that stuff, though, I mean, it's you could suspend, quite a bit with it. So pretty strong stuff.
You can see that's Velcro. I just cut it a little bit to expose the pins, so I can make sure they're in place where they're supposed to be, so I can see it. Because you can see it's got the pin like here where the feed gate attaches. That way I can make sure they're in the slot proper. So I did it on the other side. Probably should show you the Velcro side, right? But I cut it away a little bit there, and I cut a little bit to expose the serial number completely, so the serial number wasn't covered.
Cool. So you said that's a stick-on, a peeled stick? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's just peel and stick, and that stuff's glued on there. And it's not coming off unless I want it to come off.
Right. In other words, you got to work to get it off there.
Yeah. I mean, you heard when it tore away, that didn't just come off easy.
Right. Well, and that's the thing with a stick-on backing, and then your Velcro to that. You don't want your Velcro when you pull it off to actually pull the stick off.
Right. So. Which is what I had happen with my flashlight on my AR. So I went out and got some of the really heavy duty, like 150-pound weight limit Velcro from Walmart, and I used that and threw away the cheap shit that came with the flashlight.
Yeah, the kind you could Velcro a kid to the roof of the car and wouldn't have to worry about him falling off, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So your kids went and bought that for you, huh?
Yeah.
Heck, my kids are 30 and 33. I don't see them doing that for me.
Yeah, my oldest is just turned 23 at the end of October.
Wow. How old are you?
44.
Yeah, I'm 52. We're not that far apart. We're still all in the same bracket.
How old are you, David? Oh, it's a curiosity.
I'm 41.
Yeah, so we're all around that same age group. We all remember the 70s in some form or another.
Age of BC, before cell phones.
Yes.
When there was party lines and the old woman in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
She would get on there and just talk and talk and talk. And it's like, yeah, almost, After an hour, please hang up and call back. Yeah.
And we didn't have Instagram or Twitter shorthand. We had collect call shorthand.
Remember the commercial? Remember the commercial?
Mm-hmm.
You call your buddy's house and see if he's home after he got suspended from school, and you just say, "I'm just calling to see if you're home." Bye. Click before they can accept the charges.
Yeah, what was the commercial? Hi, Mom, had a baby. It's a boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I was just saying. It was say your name and
you do the say your name, and instead of saying your name, you give a short message.
Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah.
Back at, for one, I'm looking back on.
Yeah, you might have to turn your bandwidth back down. You're breaking up a little there, Armament.
It's down all the way.
Yeah.
Here, I just killed the YouTube side of it. Can you?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, my internet's been going goofy tonight, cutting in and out. I've been trying to just watch videos, and it just.
Yeah, you go back and watch some of the old videos, man. My internet was horrendous when we lived at the other place.
I mean, I'm wired direct,
Yeah.
I don't know. Stupid internet.
Yeah.
You'd figure as far as the technology for the internet's come along, like when I'm roboting, you guys can tell, but I can't. And you'd think that like there'd be a way that my end would say, hey, nobody can hear what you're saying, dummy.
Right. Matter of fact, you just roboted just a pinch right there at the beginning. So, yeah.
That might have been you because you didn't for me.
I did too. So, yeah, it's probably on my end.
Yeah. And the worst part is the United States, for as much as we have, if you look at other developed countries, we have some of the lowest bandwidth available.
Yeah,
you got like South Korea, they blow us away when it comes to the amount of bandwidth they have per capita. It's ridiculous.
And a lot of it comes down to some companies just don't do it.
Well,
they got like 1 gigabit of bandwidth, 1 gigabit per second bandwidth per capita, per person, per capita, We don't come anywhere close to that.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why some of these countries are a little farther ahead in technology, things like that. And I don't know. I mean, are we being limited? I don't know. Who knows? You would think we'd be as developed as we are, that we'd be, high up there. But you're right. I mean, don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, you go over to Eastern Asia and those countries over there, like Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, North Korea. No, we'd be in really bad shape if North Korea outdid us, but they don't. South Korea, it's crazy.
Speaking of North Korea, I heard about more missile crap going on, and he's trying to do more. And I'm thinking, you know what? Without China, you're nothing, dude. You know what I mean? It's like without China backing you.
Eventually, he's going to piss China off to the point where they're not going to be bothered with him either.
Well, after Trump talked to China a little bit, they're not. How should I say?
China's pissed off at us right now. So.
Right. Well, that goes back and forth. But even so, China is not real happy with North Korea, but they're still backing them, put it that way. And it's like,
Yeah, eventually, even China's going to be like, nope, we're done with you too.
Well, especially if they try and get us all into a big, massive nuclear war.
Oh, that would be the worst thing North Korea could do for themselves. I mean, if they launch a nuke, do you know how many different countries are going to be pointing theirs right back at them?
Oh yeah, they'll be done. Well, and the thing China has to realize is, you don't want to let them nuke us. Shit, we buy all your stuff.
I mean, seriously. I mean, like my daughter said, it's if they don't nuke themselves.
Well, that's one of the reasons that Kim Jong Un or Rocket Man, I can't remember what his name is right now.
You were right,
Uh,
Kim Jong Un.
the reason that he was so willing to meet up with Trump is because one of those mountains that they do a bunch of their nuclear testing in was pretty much melted,
Yeah, it collapsed.
and
It collapsed.
radiation was seeping over into China, and China was like, "Look, we're not going to have that. You got to stop doing what you're doing."
Yeah, yeah. And the mountain collapsed in on itself. I mean, like, hey, guy, you can only do that so many times, man.
Well, and he also pretty much went through his whole payload doing all that testing.
It's ridiculous.
They'll find more. They'll always find more. Just like the whole Soviet uranium one deal and all that. And oh yeah, it just
The key to dealing with the guy from North Korea is the same way to deal with all of them is
Kill him.
well, that too, but the only way to not kill him is to show him his only means for survival. Because that's all that guy cares about is that he's alive and he's in control. He doesn't care if he's in control of a million people or one person. As long as he can still eat his cupcakes and tell somebody else what to do, that's all he cares about.
Have you ever seen some of the propaganda videos that come out of North Korea
Oh yeah.
that target the United States and they're supposed to scare us?
Hmm.
There was one, like, was it 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that they put out that Americans are lazy and we all go around eating snow.
That's funny. Jeez.
We eat snow and I think it was grass or something. It's like, they're so bad, they're funny, you know? Like, who does he think he's kidding?
well, we're not eating the yellow snow. I hope, right? No.
There was that bear on the one commercial for for that one airline. If you remember, was it like Colorado Air or something, where they were talking about how they were doing different things in the winter, and the bear that was because if you don't remember the commercial, the planes all had a different animal on the tail fin, right? So one of them was a bear, one of them was a rabbit, and then there was like a bird and something else. So they're all going through their stuff, and then the bear goes, "And eating yellow snow." And the rabbit just looks at him and goes, "You know that's not lemon flavored, right?" I about lost it. It was hilarious.
I remember that. Wasn't that Alaskan Air or something like that?
I don't remember what airline it was. It was some state, I think. But I don't even know if that airline's around anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I remember those commercials though. They all had some type of animal, wolf, rabbit, bear, or whatever on the
yeah. Those commercials were hilarious. And the bear was all excited and happy, eating yellow snow.
Watch out where those huskies go, right?
And don't be a dum-dum. Don't eat the yellow snow. I don't know why Seven Wonders had the message held, because all he was saying was to please thumb it up, folks. Holding the message like he said something bad.
Yeah, and I just completely lost my chat.
Yeah, I see that a lot. I moderate for so many different people, and held for review, and I'm looking and I'm like, why the heck why is that? What did they say? There's nothing in there that I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, the other night, anytime somebody said channel on Ghost Show, it was holding it for reviews. Like, what? All I said was channel. That was the only word that was in common. It was like it happened 3 times, I think. And the only word that all 3 of those had in common was the word channel.
Yeah, I don't get it. YouTube works weird, and they've gotten stupider. And we started our channel a little over a year ago. Matter of fact, we're, I think, 2 away from 400. Woohoo! And right about the time I started my channel, I got my brother, channel partner Derek. I said, "Hey man, I'm wanting to do this," and he's like, "Heck yeah!" And he's the tech guy, man. He's a computer geek, and that's what he does for a living. And so the editing and all that, that's him. This part is me. Doing what we're doing right now. I get online. But right about the time I started our channel is shortly after that is when all the stupid crap started to happen, and YouTube started cracking down on content creators, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And I'm like,
Seven probably got held up for spam because he's got a bunch of the thumbs up is in there. So there might have been a spam catcher.
And
I wouldn't
he
think.
hasn't ever done that to anybody else before, though, when doing that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because there's nothing, it says please, folks. None of that. So it's got to be the thumbs up that caught him.
I
Yeah, it did, Seven. It did. It got. It was like, what the heck? Got held up, and yeah, I had to okay it. It was like, what the heck?
Speaking of Seven Wonders, he put out a blind challenge video today, so everybody should go check that out.
I will have to check that out. Yeah, why should you be flagged for putting emojis? Oh, you put more than one?
Well, most of the live chats you can't post flags in.
Well, he's like, I need to change my strategy. Well, you don't anymore because now you got a wrench. So yeah, you can spam emojis to your heart's content now.
Right. See if you can post a flag, Seven Wonders, because like I said, most chats you can't post flags, but it might be different for a wrench.
Wow.
Yeah, none of that applies to if you're a moderator, you can put whatever you want in the chat.
I do know, like I said, being a moderator, and thanks for the wrench, being a moderator in so many different channels that there for the longest time, unless you were a moderator, you could not post a link. You couldn't copy and paste a link. But now I'm seeing in a lot of channels, you don't have to be a moderator. You can actually post a link now. So I don't know if they changed that or what's up with that.
I haven't seen anybody be able to post.
It's probably just getting approved by one of the moderators.
I don't know. Like I said, I've been moderating for Hank Strange for I don't know how long. And, I started seeing it, I don't know, probably 3-4 weeks ago that somebody threw a thing up in there and it didn't come up held for review or, none of the other moderators did any. It just, boom, there's a link. I'm like,
so you were like you saw it actually happen. Okay.
Yeah. I was watching the show and it was like, boom, right there in the chat. Somebody posted a link. I'm like, couldn't do that before. So
I haven't seen it. So I don't know.
Well, maybe it's channel specific. I don't know.
But I don't watch Hank every episode that Hank does.
I see you there every now and then, but yeah, I try, like I said, I get wrenches, and that's one of the channels in the shows that I'm.
Hank's reaction when he found out that actually is my real name was priceless.
Yeah, Rich White.
He's like, wait, what? That's his real name? And he goes like, yeah, his name's Richard White. Like, the look on his face.
Hank's funny. We're getting him on the brony thing, man. We're hitting him hard on that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Hey, by the way, guys, you got my email. If you want, pass mine on to David there. If you want, get me a mailing address. I have our first channel swag, our first official channel swag, which is our logo stickers. The logo that you see, our armament and axes. I actually have some stickers, and I've been kind of passing them out to peeps, and so if you want a couple, get me an address. I can mail it to you, and I'll get you a couple.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to send in my email, I'd love to have one of those stickers.
Yeah, cool. I can get that taken care of.
Cool. Yeah, I got a great deal on Sticker Mule. They sent me an email just out of the blue, and it's like I think it was like 50 stickers for $20 or $19. And I'm like, okay. And then they sent me another one, get 10 stickers for $1. And I'm like, okay. And then I went, well, I went to do it again. They wouldn't let me. So I used my other email and did it again. So I got 70 stickers, 3-inch circle stickers for $22. Can't complain.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, considering looking at what their prices are normally, that's pretty good.
How is the back of yours one piece, or is it split down the middle? You know how like a Band-Aid has two pieces that come together and meet in the middle, or is it just the whole back of it's covered with the paper?
Yeah, it's just one, but the ones that I've peeled, they're not hard to get a.
Yeah, I like the fact that you got one solid piece. It's not two pieces of paper, cut in half and stuck together. You know what I mean?
Those are easier to. they can tend to, if you don't stick them on something, they can tend to peel and you lose your stick. You know what I'm saying? So when I got them and I was like, well, it works for me. And I tried peeling one and I was like, you hit the edge just right, peels right off. So
How long did it take them to make them?
3-4 days.
Really, that's not bad at all. Or did you just like email them your logo?
That you go to their site and there's and you import a photo, and that's what I did. I just imported the photo, and they say any special directions. Now my special directions was make it round. They said 3-inch sticker. I was like, I don't want a 3-inch square sticker. I said, make it round. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, you can get them custom made to where if I said, hey, cut all around the design or whatever, so it came out. I know, but the fact making them round, that's easy. You know what I mean? For them to die cut, 3-inch circle, boom, done, boom, done. Yeah, that's going to go pretty quick. But yeah.
And you went with the logo that I'm looking at right now with the white background, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
The guitar and the gun and everything. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Like I said, he's the computer guy, man. I'm the guy that does this, but I told him the actual shield you're seeing is our family crest shield, but it's not the colors of our family crest. And there's the colors of our crest were Michigan colors, University of Michigan, and we're both big Ohio State.
So the blue and maize, huh? Or the maize and gold, brother.
Yeah. And it was funny because I told Derek, I said, yeah, look it up, find our family. He found it, and I said, yeah, well, we can't have that colors. He says, nope. So, but yeah, he basically, I told him, he sent me, different designs and was sending them to me, and he sent me that one. I said, man, that's perfect right there. Good enough. Let's do it. And that was, now I guess he changed. If you ever see him post it, he'll post under his name, which is Derek B. I go under Chris B, which there's a joke of me being called, like Krispy Kreme, kind of crispy, because I say my name, Chris B, and it comes out like crispy. But anyway, if you ever changed his logo to, he changed the shield a little bit. So other than that, it's the same. So, but anytime that he comments, you can, see the difference between, who's who. But this was the one I had, and this is the one I went with. This is the one I've been using for, I don't know how long. So, but yeah, I was totally pleased when I got him. I was worried. I thought, I ain't going to be out much, $19, 50 stickers. And when I got them and looked how crisp and clean they are, I'm like, heck yeah. So
yeah. You got that email was sent, by the way.
And let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. Who's the better shot?
I don't know. I never shot against you guys. Oh, you mean?
No. Yeah, you and your brother.
I am.
Who's the better musician?
Well,
now you can be instrument specific if you want to.
On guitar, I think he's a little better than me when it comes to certain. I'm just a rhythm player. I don't do any leads. I've never been a lead player. I'm a drummer. The video on our channel, the Taxi. It's Taxi is the name of the song. I'm on the drums. I'm jamming with an old buddy of mine that him and I wrote a lot of songs together. That's one of them. I started as a drummer, kind of got into playing guitar because I always wanted to. And then my son, I taught him, he had this little itty bitty kit when he was a kid. I got out of playing drums for 14 years. I was married, had kids. I couldn't do much of anything, Well, we bought him this itty bitty kit and I showed him the basics. Well, when my wife left me in 98, I said, I'm going to get back into this. I've missed it. I want it. I bought a drum set, got back into it. Of course, totally had to reteach myself most of it. But when that kid got behind the drums, he was 10 years old. When he got behind those drums, he was like, great. You know what I mean? And so I started jamming with him, and that's when I started playing the guitar more and found out how much I really like it. Like I said, Derek played when he was young. Same thing, got back into it, but he went at full force like he does everything else. And he got pretty good in a short period of time. That's why I'll say he can probably play the guitar a little bit better than me, but he can't play the drums. So,
My son's a drummer, so
cool.
yeah, he played drums in the high school marching band, and he played everything. And then when they would do stage shows, he was on the kit.
Sweet. So he's different because drummers are just different.
Yeah. I played bass in the school jazz band when I was in high school.
So you no desire to play again? I mean, do you miss it? I mean, did you enjoy it? I'm just curious.
Well, you have the space for a drum kit.
Yeah, we don't. No, he's talking about me. I never. To be honest, I was never really taught how to play. It was more here and do this. Basically do traveling bass and change it up every so often. Yeah, that was my rule.
Hey, that's how I learned guitar. I've had like 3 little formal lessons in my whole life. The rest was show me the chords, practice on my own, do it, and just yeah. Most of the musicians I know are self-taught. So
our youngest, she played flute, piccolo, and clarinet.
Cool.
Now, do you think that musical talent kind of lends itself to each individual? Like, if you're good at playing the guitar, or you're just capable of playing the guitar, does that make you more capable or being able to be a better drummer? Because just because you can play football real good doesn't mean you can play basketball real good. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, sports a little bit different, but yes. Honestly, I think the fact that I played drums first helped me be able to play the guitar easier and learn quicker because the rhythm, it's a joke when I'm drumming and if we're jamming and somebody's screwing up, I'm the metronome. Just follow me because I'm staying in beat. I'm staying in beat, and that's what I said. I think that helped.
And bass is the same way because the rhythm section is your drums and your bass player.
Yep. That two go hand in hand. They follow each other. So,
like one guitar, you got a 4-piece where you got 2 guitarists, a bassist, and a drummer. Your lead guitarist will generally key off the drummer, and the rhythm guitarist will key off the bassist for their timing. That's usually how it goes.
Right. Well, that's what I said. Last night was kind of long story with the holidays and where we're practicing at and everything. And we really don't have a band per se. We just a bunch of guys get together and play a bunch of different songs. But last night we had a new guy come out. A kid, man. The kid was 20 years old, but man, really good guitar player. But we had so much going on at once, and it just kind of turned into a have fun jam session, But we had, let me see, one bass player, of course, somebody on the drums, whether it was me or my buddy, and 3 guitars going at the same time. So, it can get muddied, you know what I mean? So, but no,
especially for like a band with Leonard Skinner, where you got 3 guitarists, sometimes 4 guitarists, bassist, drummer, pianist, violin players.
Well, we got a keyboard player, the guy that owns the place, and he's really good keyboard player, but he sings too. I do a little singing, not much, but we all just kind of, hey, you sing the song, it's your turn to sing. The song Squeeze Box by The Who.
The Who, yeah.
My buddy does. He sings that one, and I do backing vocals. You know what I mean? So we take turns who does what. It's, we're all, let me put it this way, we've all been in bands. 2 of the guys, actually 3 of the guys are in bands, but they're not real active. So,
Yeah, I just gotta say something to 7 Wonders out there real quick. Go Irish!
Hey now. Yeah, I guess Ohio State's going to the Rose Bowl, I believe.
Yeah.
So Urban Meyer's gonna retire. That's the only sports I watch is Ohio State football.
I think the BCS is set up by the playoff games, isn't it?
Yeah, you know,
Which BCS game?
I'm not real sure. I know that we kicked the living crap out of Michigan last time. Honestly, my brother and I were thinking, you know, after watching this year, and they struggled, and you know, they only lost one game, but man, some of them were so close they were stupid. And we're thinking Michigan's just going to stomp them, and it turned out to be the other way around. We stomped them.
Like, out of curiosity, have you seen the record that Army has this year?
No, I have not.
They're 10-2. They have a chance. They win their bowl game to be an 11-win team this year. When the freaking hell did West Point become a football powerhouse again?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I can remember back in the day, the Army and the Navy, and you know, all the football games.
The Army Navy game was just yesterday, and Army just won that game.
Did they?
Yeah, third year in a row. Second year in a row, they won the Commander in Chief's trophy.
Cool. But yeah, you know, the whole music thing, man, that's just, like I said, when I started this channel, it was two things that I love to do. You know, of course, I have so much empty brass I'm out in my shop. I got so much empty brass in front of me. It's ridiculous. I got so much reloading to do. But my job, you know, I work in the construction industry in Northern Ohio, and I'm surprised. I'm working tomorrow. I'm surprised I'm still working at all, though, you know, with the weather. And it just, some companies work all year. Underground piping companies and stuff, they work all year. But most of the work that, you know, I drive a dump truck is what I do. And I actually get paid fairly decent doing it. But, you know, I'm surprised that we're still working. And I'm almost to the point where it's like, okay, I want to be done because I got a lot to do. But, you know, the whole reloading, guns, that's part of me. And the whole music and gear, and that's all part of me too. And when I started this channel, that's kind of why. And the funny thing is my brother, channel partner brother, was the one that named the channel, because I said I wanted to call it Guns and Guitars, and I did a search and that was already taken. He said, well, how about Armament and Axes? I went, okay, works out good.
Yeah. Apparently, with Psycho saying Midnight is not doing his show tonight. No closer this week.
Yeah, he just posted a message on YouTube about it. He didn't say. He just put up, you know, text that said he wasn't going to be able to do the show tonight.
Oh hell, I guess we can run longer. Sarge, if you're able, I sent you a link, brother. So if you want to jump in,
what should be budget Guns and Gear saying, I swear to God, you sound like the guy on WGAR ... Are you slumming here? WGAR.
Hey, budget, you want a link? I'll send you one if you want one.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Budget said he had to work tonight or not.
I don't know. He's out there. So if he wants a link, I'll send him one. Big deal. I haven't got around to asking yet, David, but you got any questions you want to ask? Because it's time for her to ask Kingpin Asks segment. In case you don't know, Armament, we got a segment on this show. The last couple shows, it's been the whole episode, where David threw down a challenge saying he could come up with a question every week for us to answer. So I'm putting him on the spot every week, and he's got to come up with a question to ask.
Uh-oh.
Semi-automatic shotguns. Basically the AR style shotguns. Right now, my friend and I are debating on. He wants to get another shotgun. He's got a Remington 870, the pump action, and the only shotgun that I have is just a. I don't even remember what kind it is, but my dad bought it for my brother when my brother was a kid. So it's just, you know, in my safe off, you know, for safekeeping. But I prefer the basic pump action, and he swears about the AR style. What would you rather? If you had a choice, here's the only two shotguns you could choose from. Would you buy like an 870 or a Mossberg or something like that, pump action, or would you buy the AR style?
Well,
and now, okay, we're not hunters, we're not hunters,
Right.
and basically they're going to be range guns, and if anything ever crazy happens, home defense choices.
Right. Well, I don't know how the AR are they gas operated?
Yeah, they're gas operated.
This is the thing though. I haven't messed with those too much, but I do know most semi-automatic shotguns, some of them can be ammo sensitive, and if it's not hot enough, it's not going to cycle. So you're not going to put target loads in there and cycle some of them. To wear a pump, it always cycles, and well, it cycles because you cycle it, but some of them can cycle just as fast depending on the pump action. And honestly, I've owned both. Right now I just own a cheap, I think it's a Stevens. It's the Chinese made. I think it's the 320, and it's a copy of a Winchester 1300, I believe. Now that one, if you got back pressure on the stock on the pump, as soon as it goes bang, it'll cycle. So
Yeah, I just noticed we had Gary, and Budget just jumped in too. So good evening, guys. How are y'all tonight?
Wonderful. How you guys doing?
All right, excellent.
Yeah, not too bad. You had a decent show going there, Budget, earlier, so I didn't want to interrupt you, so I just waited till you were done before I went sending out my links, because you had some of my guests on your panel tonight. So I don't want to, take your guys from you. So because you guys had it, you guys had a good conversation going.
Well, it's not exactly my actual regularly scheduled night, so you shouldn't have felt bad about stealing the whole thing. I don't care.
Yeah, I know you were making up time, so that's why I was like, yeah, I'll let Budget take the time he needs, because he wasn't able to do his show Friday. I'm cool like that, Okay. How are you tonight, Gary?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Still getting over whatever the hell hit me last week.
Problems, are you?
Yeah, so still getting over what was hitting me last weekend, where I didn't even do a show. I was in bed before it was even time last week. So
Yeah, I was sick the prior 2 weekends, so it's finally nice to feel decent for a weekend for a change.
yeah. So in case I don't know if you guys heard, David was asking us what we would prefer out of a pump shotgun or an AR style shotgun.
All I own is pumps and single shots. So
I have no experience with the AR style shotgun. However, I do have, matter of fact, should be getting to my local gun store on Wednesday, a Silver Eagle semi-auto 12 gauge. It's the pistol grip version. It's styled like a Benelli M4 with a tube magazine, as opposed to the box mag. So I can give you an opinion on that in a week or two, but as far as the AR style goes, no clue.
Yeah, the semi-auto I have, I don't even think would be legal for David to have in Maryland. I have a Pepper 12, which is the one that's built off the RPK. So I don't even know if he would be allowed to have that.
Yeah, the first thing I got to do is go on the Maryland State Police website and check the registry before I can buy any gun.
I
Unless
do
it's
have
in a
a
store.
I'm pretty sure that's too much freedom for Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, you're one to talk budget. You can't have this. That would be a shockwave.
Wait until they just passed that law that says that we can. So, once our governor vetoes it and then they veto override, I will be able to have that. So,
Uh-huh.
This government passing laws for us to own something that should be an automatic right. Yeah.
yeah, I know it's a bunch of crap.
Well, yeah, that's right. You can't have it either, eh? But yeah, I thought this was not a bad little shotgun. Oh,
What's that? The Shockwave in Ohio? I don't know. I've never checked.
Yeah, Budget was talking about it earlier on his show. Apparently, you guys can't have them in Ohio.
Huh. Did not know.
Yeah, it does not meet the definition of a shotgun in Ohio. It is a short-barreled shotgun, thus verboten. We can't have it.
So
Except they just passed a bill that fixes that. However, our governor is, in his wisdom, is planning to veto it. So they'll have to go into veto override session and, give us a little bit of our freedom back.
And yeah, and your argument with Night Strike earlier was priceless. I was hoping that he would have jumped in here and then we could have continued that whole thing.
Oh, that was fun.
I missed it.
Well, Night Strike was on his. He was true to form. Shall not be infringed, and all or nothing. And my take on it is, if all we can get is a piece of it instead of the whole thing, let's get that piece. And then tomorrow, let's get another piece. Then tomorrow, let's get another piece. Just like the anti-gunners have done, adopt the strategy of incrementalism instead of all or nothing. Because when you're all or nothing, generally you end up with nothing.
I couldn't agree more. And honestly, you're so right. The anti-gunners, like I said, 52 years.
Yeah, Night Strike doesn't get. Sometimes you have to do things in pieces. You can't all do it all at one time. It's just you're not going to get the votes.
Right.
I mean, get what you can get right now and go for more later.
Personally, I think that's why we don't have national reciprocity right now, because McConnell knew he was going to have the votes, because that's one of those ones, unless it's attached to a budget bill, you really aren't supposed to hit the nuclear option on it. You can do that with Senate confirmation, and you can do that with budget bills. That would have just been a regular bill. He would have had to get that passed, you would have to have Democrats cross over, and there's no way any of the Democrats right now are going to cross over on anything pro-gun, because their whole platform right now is anti-gun.
Yeah, it's a sad truth.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can read that box with me too.
No, I just started to say it was a sad. We're in. It's man. Too many snowflakes, and the snowflake is growing. I don't know. Like I said, been watching a long time, and to see where it's getting to now, and there for a while it was going our way, and now it's going. I don't know.
Well, that's what happens when our politicians that are supposedly on our side lack the spinal fortitude to do anything. They don't have a backbone, so they aren't willing to say full speed ahead and damn the torpedoes and seize what they can when they can. They want to be nice guys, and that doesn't work. It's just, that's how it is.
The main focus of politicians is to stay in power, period. That's their main focus. And whatever there started, politician was not a full-time job. You didn't get paid in your pocket, and retired from being a politician.
You're breaking up pretty bad again, AA.
I hate it when that happens. All right, I got out of YouTube for a minute.
I think Budget was making a pretty good point earlier too. Is we as a group, as a collective, as friends, as common interests, whatever you want to call what we do here together, need to come up with some type of common ground with ourselves, because we can't be all or nothing. That's not going to work. It's not going to work out. So we need to get that between ourselves to where, like I was talking about earlier, sometimes we take everything we can get, but right now we can't get a mile. So let's take that inch that we can get. And we need to be proactive instead of reactive. We can't wait for the next mass shooting to rally together. We need to rally together now.
Yeah, man, you got to know when to pick your battles.
Right.
You can't just go out there willy nilly and say, we're going to fight this now and we're going to win if you got 20 guys and the other guy's got 40, you know?
Well, we've all seen a UFC fight, and back when UFC first got popular, Hoist Gracie was the smaller guy. You know, he didn't have a big bunch of muscles or anything like that, and a cool tattoo and goatee. And he was whipping the crap out of all these other bigger guys. Just like you go in Muhammad Ali, you know, he let Foreman punch himself out, or Frazier or whichever punch himself out to where he was tired, and then he just picked him apart. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather allowed Conor McGregor to stay on his feet for 6 rounds to get tired. And then once McGregor was tired, Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer, you know, out there, picked him apart. You know, we can't swing for the fence every single time. You know, there's a first base for a reason.
I'm just going to say this. Some guys wear me out just watching them. And I used to be into martial arts when I was younger, but watching them guys now, I'm like, guys are making me tired.
But I mean, that's what I mean. If home runs are the only thing that counts, there wouldn't be bases.
That exactly. Totally agree.
Not everybody can be Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, I'm trying to think of Mickey Mantle, you know.
Tony Gwynn was one of the best baseball players ever, and he wasn't famous for his home runs.
No, he had one of the highest batting averages ever though for his career. So.
Anyway, I was going to say, Gizzard, thanks for the sub from your other channel. I seen that. What is that, Mr. Grayson?
Oh, that's my cat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a cat dude too. I never was when I was younger, but I got a 15-year-old diabetic turd, and I've been keeping him alive for 6 years now, giving him insulin shots. Yes, I'm an animal lover, and right now it's not feasible to own a dog, but if I could, I would. I grew up with dogs, but I love cats. I got 2 black cats. I was born on Halloween. It happened by accident how I got 2 black cats. Yeah, I have a funny joke, but yeah. Cool, though. Your cat's, that thing's huge.
It's like I tell people, he's nothing besides my daughter's biggest cat. Now, if you saw my Instagram today, that was my daughter's 2 cats, and the one that's leaning on my knee is probably about, well, at least 1.5 times the size of my cat. He's a big boy.
Crap. Maine Coon or what?
Well, don't really know, to tell you the truth. I think just some sort of tabby. But
Just
he's
one
a
big cat.
big boy. He always gets fed first, and he pretty much rules that house. And they lived with me for a while. My daughter and my son-in-law, they moved out 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't have any animals around here. And then I ended up with George, and but I've had cats off and on since I was in my early 20s. Because my mom and dad wouldn't allow me to have any pets around the house. When I got out on my own, I got a cat. And most of the time I've had a cat. I get along with them pretty well. I don't have any trouble with dogs either. It's just they're a little bit hyper for my blood.
Dogs are too.
Cat, I was just going to say cats are more low maintenance, except if you have a diabetic one like mine, but they are more low maintenance to where you litter box, a bowl of food, some water, you can leave them all day. You know, you don't have to worry about letting them out or anything like that. So, you know, that when I took my cat in, the job that I was working, I was hardly ever home. So it worked out good. You know what I mean? But, you know.
Well, I go out of town almost every weekend to go. Oh, I usually go out Saturday morning. I'll spend Saturday night at my daughter's and come back Sunday afternoon. So you couldn't really leave a dog in the house that long, but a cat, you can leave a cat 2 or 3 days, not even have to worry about it.
Yep. Like I said, food, water, and a litter box. They're happy.
Now, he does not like to travel. There's a few times I took him with me, but he does not like car rides. Some cats do. My cat does not.
My cats do not. No, I've never owned a cat that liked it.
My cat thinks you're taking him to be murdered.
Yeah.
Well, that's a weird thing about cats because they're so good at balance. You'd think that being in a car, they'd be fine with it because, like, we put one of our bigger dogs, in the car, and when it gets in a new car, it's like it's roller skating on ice. Like, it can't get its balance and it's all jumpy. But a
Yeah,
cat's nimble, and I've never seen a cat that liked a car ride either.
you guys see this cat that I'm screen sharing right now?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is the world's smallest wild cat. They are just a little bit bigger than a kitten when fully grown.
Wow.
They live in the jungles. I think it's in Sri Lanka and India.
Looks just
You
like a kitten.
They thought these things were there's a video from preview that of a show that was on the BBC where the thing meows. It sounds like a kitten meowing. And they thought these things were highly endangered, right? It turns out there's more of them out there than what they realized. It's just they're so small, nobody ever sees them.
That's kind of crazy. No, you were talking about cats riding in cars. I remember, and they give them captions. The dogs are like, "Hey, where are we going? Let's go. Yeah, car ride, car ride." The other one's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, this." And the cat's in the background with its thing going, "We're all gonna die."
One of our cats likes going for rides in cars. The other one goes to the bathroom in the car. So.
Is it true?
Just
I guess Gary and Rich would probably be the. So I don't know if any rest of you guys have cats, but somebody told me that cats only meow at humans.
That's not true. Mother cats will meow at their kittens to, if they want them to follow them and stuff. They have different pitches of meow and whatnot.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get the call, like wow, wow, to get the kids to come along. But is that the same as like a meow? Like, I have no idea. I didn't look into it. Somebody just told me
When
about
a
it
cat's
the other day.
meowing, they're trying to communicate.
My cat loves to get in the bathtub where I've got the glass shower doors and everything. I guess his voice echoes in there and he'll meow as loud as he can. And I think it just impresses him how loud he is because he'll go in there and just meow several times.
Yeah,
Makes him feel like a lion.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting little factoid for you. Cats that meow can't roar, and cats that roar can't meow.
Oh, there's interesting. I do know that. Well, I know this for a fact because the one cat that I have, they say that cats have a vocal range, and this cat uses them all. I swear this cat talks sometimes. And I'm like, what? But the whole cat meowing to humans, I don't know. I've heard cats just out in the yard or wherever, neighbor cats or whatever, they're meowing. I don't know.
That's what I've always thought too. But when he said it, I was like, okay, well, if it's outside, maybe it's meowing to a person. But
I know last year I had to leave my cat with my daughter and my son-in-law for a week while I went up and stayed with my mother because my mother, who is living with my sister and brother-in-law, and they went out of town for a week. So I went up and stayed with my mother. So anyway, when I come back at the end of the week, I walked into my daughter's house and I said a couple things to my daughter, and I heard my cat off in the other room, the loudest and longest meow you ever heard in your life. And I think it was just, oh, daddy's home type thing. But maybe he thought I was never going to come and get him again, but he sure did seem excited to see me. So.
Yeah.
He was just worried that he'd have to break in a new slave.
Yeah. And getting back to the whole thing about the cats that meow and roar thing, there's only 4 cat species that roar: lions, tigers, jaguars, and leopards. That's it. All the other ones meow. You ever hear a cheetah meow? It is crazy to listen to a cheetah meowing.
I wonder what a bobcat sounds like. You got bobcats down there, Rich? I know they're in West Virginia. I don't know if they're in your area, but
when a bobcat meows, they can sound like a human baby.
Really?
Yeah. They don't help at mom's building.
It's crazy listening to bobcats meowing.
I always thought it'd be cool to have one as a pet, but you'd have to raise them from a kitten or whatever I guess they'd be called kittens. But
if you're close enough to see a bobcat, you better back off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobcat will mess you up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hell, a house cat will mess you up. I mean, honestly,
Oh, I know. I had one dislocate my thumb. So
ouch. Oh yeah, I honestly, I mean, my one cat, and by the way, his name's Poop, like poop turd. I never named him. I just when I took him in, he just looked like a turd, and I just started calling him Poop Turd. And my son come over, he says, "You ever gonna name that cat?" And I looked at the cat and I went, Poop Turd, and it stuck. So that's his name. But that little dude, man, I used to play with him when he was little, and I didn't realize. When they're little, their claws and their teeth aren't that bad, and he and then I start playing with him a little older, and I look down, and I used to have scars on my arms from playing with him and I watched him bite my hand, and I watched the skin peel under his claw, and I went, well, I guess it's time to stop playing that way with a cat. So imagine that at full blown. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna get you.
Oh, I've been there. I got
My
I
cat
got
accidentally
I got
hurts
scars
me
on my
enough
hand from
times
where I
where
got
he
bit
steps
back.
on my chest, and then he'll decide he wants to take off the other side of the room because he hears a noise, and he's gotten my arms. It's not uncommon at all for me to have scratches on my arms, stuff like that.
He didn't do it on purpose. It was just that's cat's nature. When they go for traction.
Yeah. When I got bit, it was intentional, and I got my hands on that cat, and I was ready to rip. I was about ready to twist her head around backwards.
That's why I don't wear shorts around here too much.
I had blood pouring down my hand, and I didn't even care. The one thing that was going through my head was kill cat.
Yeah, good luck catching them when they know you're wanting to get them too.
Oh, I caught her.
Well, it was a female. That's the problem. Oh, did I say
You
that?
gotta watch George, because sometimes if he's in a real frisky mood, he'll go hide on the other side of the couch. And I'll go walking in the kitchen for something. He'll jump out there and try to get me.
Yeah, we had just gotten her from the pound, right? And the way, my wife, she was smart. She got me not to kill a thing. She got me not to kill it because she mentioned the fact about getting our money back.
Yeah, but they weren't going to take it.
We had a cat one time that it really didn't. It was kind of a loner. It didn't come around. Didn't look like to be pet a whole lot. But every once in a while, when you would walk by, it'd roll over on its back and purr at you. So you'd bend down and you'd pet it and scratch it and give it all kinds of attention. And then right when it was tired of you petting it, it would just attack you. It wouldn't give you any warnings. It wouldn't try to get up and move. It would just start clawing and biting into you because it was tired of you petting it.
It's not that uncommon. Other one, he's only about 4.5 years old. He's the biggest dang baby. You can pet him anywhere. He doesn't. It was kind of strange, but well, carry him around.
Yeah, you're breaking up again, AA. And hide your chocolate, everybody. Mr. Knives is out there in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Yes. Mr. Knives will steal your chocolate. That's why he's a fat ninja turtle, because he steals everybody's chocolate.
No wonder I can't ever find any chocolate around this house.
Yeah, Mr. Knives is sneaking in with his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle powers and his electric scooter.
I know, right?
Did we ever finish the conversation of semi-auto or pump shotgun?
I don't know. We kind of got off track on cats somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Happens.
I think somebody shot a cat with a shotgun. That's how it went down. Maybe something.
That was
No, Armament saw a picture of George, and we just went down a rabbit hole from there.
No, Gizzard subscribed to our channel from his other channel, and I went and watched the video of him and his big fuzzball cat.
Yeah,
I was thanking him.
Yeah,
So-
but yeah, you saw something with George, and that's how we got down that rabbit hole.
That's how we did. So anyway, back to the
It's all,
shot.
it's all AA's fault.
Yeah, it is.
It's always my fault, isn't it? I'll take the blame.
You
I
can
don't-
take it.
I don't care.
Gary, that came out totally wrong.
I'm telling you,
I felt
AA, you
pretty
should have
nice.
heard what Rich was saying about you before you got on air.
Okay, well
Oh, man.
let's get into it. Was
It's just the fact that you need a GPS or learn to use a GPS or a map so you can figure out where in West Virginia I'm at. Because apparently you think I'm in Wheeling or something.
I don't know how we got on that, but I remember you saying you were like close to Maryland, and like I said, you know where Canaan Valley is?
Roughly, not totally. But
Okay, well that's where our family's cabin is right near there. That's where we have our family reunions. That's my dad's side. So
yeah, that's on the other side of the state.
yeah, well it's up near where Maryland cuts down. That little point cuts
Yeah.
down. It's right in that area. So
It would take me roughly 3 hours or so to get to Canaan Valley from where I live at.
well, you're not far then.
Take me a lot longer than that.
Well, you're all out in Kansas, Gary.
Have you lived in Kansas your whole life, Gary?
Yep. Well, except for 6 months where I went to live with my sister down in Texas. But other than that, yeah, I was born and raised here.
Oh,
And the distance thing reminds me, AA. You know about how they got that big industry show in Harrisburg in February?
yeah, the outdoor show.
Yeah, the outdoor show. Sponsored by the NRA and whatnot.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're planning to have a get together
Really?
there. Yeah, so if you want to come along, we're trying to figure out when because we got to figure out a day where everybody can go, and like midnight. He doesn't work Sundays. My wife doesn't work Sundays, so we're thinking. And it's 10 days, so there's 2 Sundays in the schedule. So we got to all get together sometime and figure out what day we want to do this.
Harrisburg, PA, or what?
Yeah, Harrisburg, PA.
Really? Yes. Send me an email with the dates. I'll get with my brother. We definitely might have to do that. We are hoping to make the NRA, even though they're FUDs and don't get me started, but we're hoping to make the Indy NRA RAM. So, but yeah, send me links. That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Any of you guys planning to go to the USCCA Expo this year?
I don't even know.
Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, that's in Pittsburgh. What do you know when that is?
May 9th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, maybe. It's somewhere in that general vicinity. It's in May. I know that.
Where are they having that? David L. Lawrence?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is. I was a street from there. The Greyhound terminal there was right across the street from the David L. Lawrence. But I've been to many things there. I've seen wrestling events there. Went to car shows there. Outdoor shows. Yeah.
You got a real bad echo.
Yeah, that's but
Oh,
yeah, that happens. But I don't know if he's listening to it through his car stereo or what. But yeah.
Yeah, I've been muting myself whenever I'm not speaking, so I kind of forgot to there. My bad.
That
well,
happens.
are you planning on going to that expo budget?
Yeah, I just bought my ticket and talked to the director last night before, via email about she's going to send me my press passes and stuff.
How does that work for just basic, buy tickets at the door kind of thing, or do you have to order them in advance? Or?
Either or. If you get them in advance, you get a free T-shirt, and you don't have to wait in the humongous ass line. It's only like $15 for the whole weekend.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's driving distance for me. I mean, it's a long drive, but it's still driving distance.
Yeah, that's my hometown.
It's about an hour and 15 minutes from me.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half from me.
Budget, you're what, down near the Pennsylvania border, aren't you? What area are you in Ohio?
Carroll County is where I live. I work in Canton, where the Football Hall of Fame is.
I live
Yep.
in Carroll County too.
Oh, so you're in Ohio too?
No, I live in Maryland, but the county I
Oh.
live in is called Carroll County.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know all the counties in Ohio. God, there's too many of them. You know all the counties in your state? I sure don't.
I know most of them, but Maryland's not really as big as.
Yeah, Maryland's not that large.
Yeah, true.
But yes, I'm near the Pennsylvania border.
Yeah, you're not too far from where I grew up. So. Like I said, Pittsburgh, that's my hometown, so I know I've been to David L. Lawrence Convention Center many times. And then another place where they used to have those kind of things was at Monroeville, which is just outside the city at the Expo Mart out that way. Monroeville Expo Mart.
Funny, there's a Monroeville, Ohio, but it's tiny. It's like tiny little town, but
Pittsburgh, there's a Pittsburgh councilman who's trying to sabotage having the expo there. And to my knowledge, the USCCA is basically telling the pound sand there's contracts signed and money has changed hands. We ain't going nowhere. I'm waiting for Katie Rubeck, who's the show director, to get back to me on, hey, what's your guys' response to this? What is there anything you want me to tell my people, cause my viewers, because I'm planning to talk about it probably next week on my show. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of response from them for it before I really come out with it.
Yeah,
but yeah, rotten sons of bitches.
Pittsburgh's really changed since I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, just about everybody had guns in Pittsburgh. But now, man, they've gone so far left, it's not even funny.
You know what I'm finding is people that don't live in big cities, rural, small city people, they tend to be more pro 2A. Now, I don't know if it's people or the politicians, but big cities have just went totally left.
Yeah. Pittsburgh used to be Reagan Reagan Democrat, but now all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't live in a big city. I live in a small city. I don't even know what our population is now. I don't know, 30,000 maybe. I don't know, maybe a little more. But it just seems like big cities have just totally went left. And I describe big cities as sheep in a pen. I really do. To me, you go to New York where people don't even have cars and they ride buses and they live in high rises or these. To me, that's just sheep in a pen or sheeple. I don't know.
Well, it's the politics of bread and circuses. They're going to vote for and agree with the people that are giving them the stuff. And that's what it's all been about.
Totally agree.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at Allegheny County, right? It always shows up blue lately, but that's the city of Pittsburgh. You get outside the city of Pittsburgh and it's all red. In the suburbs and everything going into the other counties, it's a transition from blue in Pittsburgh to where it's red in the surrounding counties. But that's the way it works, I guess.
So, Rich, this you said it's an NRA sponsored kind of thing?
Yeah, there was another organization that did it, and I think it was after Sandy Hook that they decided, nope, we're not going to do it anymore. So the NRA stepped in and took over the show.
Gotcha. I would love to get the GOA involved. Jordan Stein, I met him, did an interview with him, got his phone number, and I would love to get the GOA more involved. Now, GOA they're a lot like Night Strike when it comes to no compromise, but they do understand the whole process of how this all works. But I was just curious, so for this show, is there media passes or is it just let's all show up? Or
it's just an outdoor show,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones you just go to and to look at news, what's coming out and stuff. It's not like SHOT Show where you got to have a media pass to get in.
Well, I think NRAM's like that too. You can,
right?
Yeah, you get a media pass. There's media day and blah blah blah. But even matter of fact, this is a topic in a couple of chats that I guess Nevada is now going to have a Democratic governor, and they're talking about what's going to happen with SHOT Show. And SHOT Show used to move around. When I worked at the gun store in the 90s, my boss, the owner, used to go to SHOT Show every year. And one year it was here, one year it was here, one year it was here, one year, you know what I mean? And now it's getting to the point that they can't have it anywhere because places are all anti-gun, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I proposed the other night on Hank's show they could do it 1 year in Arizona and next year do it in like West Virginia, maybe. You got, you know, two of the freest states in the country when it comes to gun ownership.
well, you know, and I people say, "Oh, Ohio, tough gun laws." Not really. I mean, we're not that regulated here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you need a permission slip.
They can kiss my. All I can say is this: is I don't care what law they pass, and I'm going to say this live. I ain't giving up nothing. I've done giving up enough. I'm sorry. I drew the line in the sand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, back to the shotgun thing, guys.
Yes, back to the shotgun thing.
Eventually, we'll get back to the topic that was
More shotguns.
Where were we on that? Did we come to a consensus or what?
I think we were just all weighing in.
Yeah.
Well, the question was semi-auto or AR style, or just semi-auto or pump action shotgun. Preferable choice. My thought was semi-autos, depending on what kind they are, can be real finicky on ammo to where a pump will shoot anything.
Especially those AR ones.
And also, one of the things that I was looking at was with the pump action, you can still fit, 7 rounds, 5 rounds, however many rounds will go up in your tube.
Yeah, this little Shockwave, it holds 6, 5 in the tube, 1 in the chamber.
I mean, 6 12-gauge shells should be pretty effective for.
Well, this is 20 gauge, but yeah, either way. I mean,
even that, yeah.
I wouldn't want to get shot with a 20 gauge.
Or 410.
I don't want to get shot with a 22. Hell, I don't want to get shot with a BB gun. Come on.
By the way, they do make the Shockwave from 410 now as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Jerry Mitralik had all 3 of them in a video.
But have you seen the new Shockwaves that are coming out?
What do you mean?
They got one that's all set up like the 590A1, and then they got another one that's got like the old school wood style fore-end and a wooden version of the Shockwave grip on it.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
And instead of having the nylon strap on the forearm, it's got a leather strap. They call it the Billy Club. That's
Probably
amazing.
go for a little bit more, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a little, not much though. It's like maybe I think it's $50 more than the MSRP.
My only problem with those things are they cost way more than they're worth.
I paid $4 for mine.
Yeah, but hell, I could buy 2 regular shotguns for that. I could buy 2 Maverick 88s for that.
Yeah, but this one's easier to get around corners with and whatnot.
Right, just make sure it's close to
Like if I'm having to do room clearing and stuff, this thing's smaller than what an AR or whatever semi-auto rifle you would have. It's only got a 14-inch barrel on it.
I was just going to ask, 14 versus 18. That's 4 inches shorter. So yeah, I mean honestly, with an 18-inch barrel, Maverick or whatever pistol grip, it's not much more. But yeah, I can understand that.
Gary, what do you think of these shotguns that they end at the pistol grip? Like the handheld shotguns.
Yeah,
Never shot
cruiser.
one.
If
My son-in-law has one, and he went ahead and bought the regular stock for it, and he says it's a heck of a lot easier to shoot with the shoulder stock.
Yep. In between the cruiser, which is the one you're talking about with just the pistol grip, or the Shockwave style grip, I would go with the Shockwave style grip. If I was getting one that didn't have a stock or brace on it, like this mine has the brace, that's the way I would go because that thing is just so much more comfortable to hold when you're pulling the trigger than what the pistol grip alone is.
Yeah,
That's what,
I see him in gun stores all the time, especially my local gun store. And they're right around $250, 225 or something like that.
you know.
And they look really cool, but I can't see them even being really all that much fun to take to the range and shoot. Like it just doesn't seem
Yeah, those
very.
things are cool if you're making an early '90s, late '80s action film. Other than that,
Well, I can tell you this: you shoot any 12 gauge with double aught buck or something like that, all that pressure goes right back into the palm of your hand.
oh, that's why they made the Shockwave. It's basic because that thing, it's you're holding it like you would a standard shotgun. You were
Well,
shouldering it, and because that's the
well,
angle, and it doesn't put any pressure on your hand. You know.
well, with that loop in the front, that definitely helps retain your hand in the front grip to
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying
so
to
your hand doesn't go flying in front of the barrel. That's what
um
that's there for. That's basically like hand stop that you would put on one if you had a rail fore end. That's what this loop does. It stops your hand from moving. I mean, this is hanging off my hand from that loop, and my hand is open. That's what it's for, is to keep your hand from going any farther. There's a lot of people. I mean, there's pictures online where people have fired these without something on the fore end because they changed it out and they didn't put the loop back on, or they didn't have the hand stop here, and their hands get sweaty and it slips off. The next thing you know, boom, they just shot their hand. There are actually pictures online of people that have done that. It's not a pretty picture, to say the least.
no. Ouch. You ever check into the mini shells? I think they
I
make
don't,
them for 20. The
I
little
yeah, I don't think they make them for 20, and you got to have a special adapter for those. And to have for the adapter to work, you have to have the loading gate. They didn't put the loading gate in the. I am drawing a total blank on Shockwave. This having one of those. It's been one of those days. If you watch my blind challenge video that I put up earlier, it's just been one of those days where I'm forgetting shit left and right.
you're getting old, man. You're getting old.
But yeah, I don't know if you can see. It doesn't have the loading gate like down here, so you can't put the adapter in there.
Seven Wonders was asking if anyone had shot the Taurus that fires the 410 shells.
The
He was
judge.
asking about the recoil. Yeah, that Psycho responded the judge, and he said yeah. So apparently it's the judge.
Yeah, it doesn't recoil any more than what a 45 Colt would.
I haven't shot one. Not sure. Not sure what the value is on that. The pattern spreads out pretty damn quick right out of the barrel.
You know what? You know what the judge is good for, and what they make a perfect thing. If you're walking through the woods where there's a lot of snakes, like rattlesnakes, copperheads, water moccasin / cottonmouth, something along those lines, it makes a great anti-snake gun.
That's why I used to always carry a 410 when I was out working cattle and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
he's saying that he has 3 ruptured discs, and he wants to know if he can shoot it without hurting himself. So I guess that's why he was asking about the recoil.
Yeah,
I
it's no worse than a 45 Colt. Not the
Yeah.
45 ACP, the Colt like you would use in the modern recreations of the Peacemaker that can take the smokeless powder. It's about what it is.
Yeah,
410 handgun.
I would agree. And Smith and Wesson came out with what? The Governor
Governor.
judge. But 410. Unless you're shooting slugs through it, it's probably 45 Colt, about the same.
Even shooting slugs, it's about all it is. It's not like a 12 gauge where when you're firing, they put more powder, higher powder charge in the slug. With the slug in like the 12 or 20, the 410 they use the same powder charge for shot because especially buckshot, because you only get like 3 pellets of double aught in a 410 cartridge anyway.
3 or 4. I was just gonna say. I mean, you're saying snake, anti-personnel at 10 feet. It'll work, But if you're talking anything over that close, Yeah.
Just keep in mind, though, the Judge, unlike being a short-barreled shotgun, it has a rifled barrel, so it tends to do funky things to shot when it comes out of there.
Not really, because if you actually look at the rifling in a Judge, to say it has rifling is a joke.
I'm just going by the reviews I've seen
I
and
know, but
videos I saw. It's showing a hell of a spread at like no more
yeah,
than
that
5 yards.
that spread is more to the fact that it has maybe a 4-inch barrel than it does with the rifling. If you look down the rifling on a freaking Judge, it looks like somebody maybe, possibly, took like a dentist toothpick thing, you know, the little hook, steel hook, and like carved a little bit of rifling into the barrel. It to say that the rifling on the Judge isn't deep is an understatement.
I'm just saying, if you're going to shoot a snake with it and you want to be reasonably sure you're going to get several pellets on that snake, I'd rather have just a regular old shotgun. That's just me. Because you'd have to get awful damn close to it with that Judge to make sure you hurt it.
Not really, that's what a lot of people carry them for. You get the 6-inch barrel to, like, say the Raging Judge Magnum, where you can put 6 rounds of 410 in there, and it's got like a 6-inch barrel. That'll do the job on a snake.
Wouldn't 45 long Colt shot cartridges or 357 shot cartridges do about the same thing for snakes? I'm just,
Well, you're going to get more pellets when it comes to the shot shell versus the
True.
45.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt, but I got to dip and go clock in and start my nightly toil. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for the invite.
Be safe, Budget. Have a good night, brother.
Thanks, Budget. See ya. Got to get together and shoot sometime, brother. You're in Ohio. You're not far.
Yeah, thanks for dropping in,
You
Budget.
betcha.
All righty, man. Peace.
Yeah, where was I? Oh, if I were to carry the Judge for anti-snake, I would be carrying number 4 shot in that. Probably. Well, I don't know if they make this for 410, but the Remington XLR. I don't know if any of you have watched the video where I actually shot this. The way this thing patterned at 10 yards using these. This is what I would use in it.
What is it?
This is the Remington XLR number 4 bird shot. It's almost the same size pellet as what you get in number 4 buckshot.
What's the XLR con? I mean, what is that?
Extra long range. It has a wad in there which allows you to shoot longer ranges with it if you were using this in a bird gun.
Oh.
It helps tighten your patterns.
So they cut down on the powder a little bit too, maybe, or
no? It's got the same powder charge.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Psycho brought up in the chat that 22 Plinkster video where he was using shot shells to kill carpenter bees off his porch.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too. We used the 12 gauge on a hornet's nest. So.
Better hit the damn things. All I gotta say.
Shotgun. Yeah, we were.
Where does choke? Where does choke come into play with shotgun?
Choke tightens your pattern. It literally does what it says. It chokes down the bore size of your shotgun, which keeps your pattern tighter.
Right, but isn't that what the shell itself is supposed to do? Is determine the spread of the pattern?
No, the shell doesn't determine that. Your barrel determines that.
It's a funny thing is we have our club, we have our turkey shoots, and you're allowed, I can't remember if it's .660 or whatever, but if you look at, they measure it with this thing, and it's like, that's as small as it can be, and you look at how small that is, and it's like, you're going to push a 12 gauge through that tiny. I mean, I had an extra full choke in mine, and it's not even close to how small that they will let you go with. And I'm like, oh my God, you're squeezing it down to smaller than a 20 gauge. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. So to me, I'm thinking, wouldn't that cause higher pressures? Maybe. I don't know. I'm no expert.
I remember what show it was. I showed off the 22 now. That wasn't Snob Show. That was on Caliber Corner yesterday morning. Something you said, AA, reminded me of that. That's where I was showing off the 22 early yesterday. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they were talking about shooting slugs through a barrel that has a full choke on it. I don't recommend that. I would not be doing that.
Now,
I wouldn't be putting
full
slugs
choke
through
is
anything smaller than a modified.
full choke is a tight pattern, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Extra full is smaller than that.
Yes, I have an extra full in mind for the turkey shoots and busting clays and whatever. You can go, I think turkey is even tighter, extra full. I mean, it choke tubes, you can get them pretty small, but I had a Browning A5 12 gauge that my dad had, and he used to shoot slugs through it for deer hunting, and I thought, really? Then again, it was the Belgian steel and all that, but everybody said, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. But when you measured the slug and then you measured the diameter, it was just about the same. But I honestly would not recommend shooting a slug through a full choke. I would definitely say, if you're going to
especially a rifled slug. If you've ever looked at a rifled slug, they have that cavity in the back.
Yeah.
That cavity is there for a reason. When you fire that slug, that expands that to where the rifling works on your barrel.
Kind of like the old Minet ball, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want to shoot slugs, you just get a rifled barrel. It's a cylinder bore, only it's rifled. You know what I mean?
Well, and if you I'm trying to remember which slug it is. It's Fulton slug. Fulton slugs, which are what everybody calls the rifled slug, those are made to be fired out of a smooth bore.
Right.
But if you get like the Sabo rounds, like what Travis P11 was talking about yesterday on Caliber Corner that he uses for deer hunting.
Yep.
Yeah, you want a rifled bore for those.
Yep. And well, that's what our tank rounds are. M1 Abrams tanks.
Yeah,
they use a Sabo, yeah, and it's a depleted uranium dart.
Yeah,
it goes through.
It looks like a lawn dart. If you look at them, once the casing on it falls off when it's in air, it looks like a lawn dart.
Yeah, and it's going really, really fast, and it blows through other vehicles so fast that it just kind of causes crazy non-explosive explosion and sucks everything out the other side. So yeah,
it creates a small hole that everything gets sucked out of.
Yeah. My brother was in the armored cav. He never saw any combat or anything, but he was in the armored cav, and he was over in Germany, and they were out on maneuvers and blah blah blah, and they had a oops, you shot the wrong thing.
Yeah. You know what does a similar kind of thing to that, right? The RPG. You ever see how an RPG round works?
Well, yeah, that's a shape charge.
Yeah, the shape, it basically does the same thing.
Yeah, it's a shape charge. It when it hits, it's got a reverse copper cone that the explosive goes off behind, and it puts all that copper, molten copper, through a point that's like a half an inch.
Yeah,
and
it basically creates a super hot copper rod that just blows right through the target.
Yep, shape charge. So, but yeah, he told me about I guess he didn't see it, but he talked to a few people that did see them recovering the bodies, and they weren't. And it was done with a Sabo round. It just blasted through the tank, no explosion, but the devastation that it caused inside. And yeah, there was three guys that died. The other two were so freaking messed up that, yeah, but same thing.
Yeah, you get the same thing when one of those when an RPG hits. People get the misconception that the RPG's damage comes from the explosion. That's not where the damage comes from. The explosion it's like the detonator on a nuclear device. The detonator is not what causes the problem. It's the chain reaction that detonation causes that does the damage.
Yeah, it's funny you compared them, because the original nuclear bombs that we dropped were of the bullet type, which meant there was an explosion that sent this uranium thing into a mass of more uranium that caused critical mass. And yeah, it went in. Same thing. You're exactly right. The explosion isn't what's doing the damage. It's the shape charge blowing through that. And those shape charges are really good at just blowing through armor like a cutting torch.
So is there? I've heard of the 10 gauge. Is there a bigger gauge than the
Yeah,
10
there is an
gauge?
8 gauge. There is an
There
8
is.
gauge shotgun. You don't see them very often, but there is an 8 gauge shotgun. Some of those were actually used as coach guns in the West. You would have 8 gauge, 10 gauge, and 12 gauge coach guns.
Occasionally, you will see 10 gauge ammo. I was in Cabela's the other day, and they had 10 gauge in there. Not much of it.
Yeah, if you have an 8 gauge, the ammunition for that is pretty much unobtainium at this point. I don't think there's anybody that makes it anymore.
Have any of y'all shot a 10 gauge?
Yes.
Nope.
I shot a single shot 10 gauge once, and I said, nope. After one shot, I was like, well, it was a single shot. You know, I don't know how it'd do in a pump would be the same, but a semi, but it was really, really light. It was a buddy of mine. This has been years ago. He's like, 10 gauge. Oh, yeah, I'll shoot it. And I'm like, yep, okay, I'm done. Nope.
Yeah, I fired the Winchester lever action in 10 gauge. That wasn't fun either.
Yeah, nope.
Nope. I fired that once and I was like, nope.
You want
like, that I think might be the only firearm that I've ever fired and was like, ow. You know?
Well, I fired a 50 BMG. We got video on it, but I fired one before that. But we were out at the range one day, and there was somebody else that went back to our back range, and they came back out, and we were about done, and we could hear this. We're filming. We can hear this thing go bang, bang. And I was like, what the heck? He comes out, and I cannot remember the guy's name. He did give me a card. I'd have to look for it, but he was a gun builder. I believe he's in Louisiana, coming up to see people up here. Actually, friends of mine that are members of the range, but he had a Thompson Contender, stainless steel, beautiful gun. Had this awesome muzzle brake on the end, and he says, chambered in 458 lot. Now, you know what a 458 Winchester Magnum is?
Yeah, you're talking elephant guns.
That's the lot is even bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting into 4-bore rifle territory at that point.
Exactly. And he's showing me this thing, and I'm looking at it going, are you freaking crazy? This little pistol, Thompson Contender pistol, and 458 lot. And I said, well, how's that 458 Magnum? He says, oh, it's just a long 458 Magnum. So he hands me the gun and a 458 Magnum. And I says, well, I'll shoot it once. Ouch. 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 All into the palm of your hand, into the web of your hand, recoil, even with a muzzle brake, which was like almost like a Barrett, only small, you know.
Yeah.
And then my brother fired the lot. He wanted me to video it. We never did anything with it, but I videoed him doing it. And when you see the recoil on this thing, I'm like, and I fired it once. I said, that's enough. I have no desire to do it again.
Have you seen the video on Forgotten Weapons when Ian was shooting the 4-bore rifles? The recoil, the way he doesn't have a fat face by any stretch of imagination. The way his face jiggled when he fired that thing was hilarious. Yeah, because he showed it in slow mo, right? And his face is all doing.
Yeah,
you know, his cheeks just flapping, and he's not a fat guy by any stretch of imagination.
No.
So imagine the force that took for his skinny face to do that.
Did you see? I think he hit 1 million subscribers or something. I watched the video earlier. He was having a drink and he mixed this drink, and you know, Ian is, you know, also he sounds so sophisticated and everything. But I left a comment. I said, dude, keep doing what you're doing. I love your channel. Forgotten Weapons, and he's lucky. He gets to, you know, all these auction houses, and he gets
not just that. He's on InRange too. Look at the stuff they do on.
Yep. So
he's living the life, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I left a comment on one of his videos. He was playing with the Stoner. It was the one you could convert, be belt fed, magazine fed, yada yada. I said you get to play with all the fun toys.
He had the Stoner 63A. It actually was the Stoner Mark 23, which was the Navy SEAL version.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, I just watched that yesterday. So
I said, you get to play with all the fun toys.
Yes, yes, he does. He's a braver man than I am, though, with some of the stuff he's fired. Like that street sweeper, you couldn't pay me enough to fire the street sweeper. Not because 12 gauge is a bad thing. That shotgun just sucks that much.
Here's an interesting thing. When that street sweeper was classified as a class 3, NFA weapon, when I worked at the gun store in the 90s is when that happened, and the owner had 2 of them to sell and to look at them, and it's like a lot of the novelty guns. It's like, oh, it's all the rage, but you go out and shoot them. It's like it ain't all that great or blah blah blah. But
it's great if you're making an 80s or 90s action movie. Right. But
yeah, he actually had to register both of those and get his $200 tax stamp for both of those shotguns. It was just stupid. So I never got to fire it, but I don't think I ever sold one either. The whole time I worked there, I don't think I ever sold one.
Is there ever a practical reason with a double barrel shotgun to pull, both barrels at one time?
Maybe.
Yeah, if you got a charging grizzly coming at you.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's not an STF. The stuff hits the fan thing. That's not what I'm talking about. Like a realistic.
So am I. You go hunting, like, if you're out in like the Colorado and the Rockies or anywhere north of there, you got a charging grizzly coming at you. You're letting loose with both barrels.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a scenario like that.
If any of you all ever fired both barrels at once, I did it once. That was enough.
I've never done it.
In that situation, if it comes down to firing both barrels on it,
you're not going to feel it. You're not going to feel it.
Yeah, you're going to be more. Your pants are going to be wet because you got a 800-pound grizzly charging at you. You're not going to notice the recoil.
But aside from defending yourself from a bear charging you, you're not going to ever shoot a deer with both barrels at one time.
No,
when you're out hunting or something like that.
No, that would just be stupid. That's all the way to put it. That would just be stupid. You take one shot. If the deer doesn't go down, then you take the other shot. But to be honest with you, it depends on if I'm hunting deer, I'm not taking a side-by-side double barrel shotgun anyway, because they're not the most accurate for that. If you were going to be doing any kind of hunting with a double barrel, you want an over under.
Well, you can do both barrels on a lot of over and unders too, and even so, I just both barrels out of a 12 gauge at the same time. My skinny little narrow ass is not going to like it a whole lot. Okay.
No, I'm 250 pounds. I mean, 6 foot 250. So, I'm not a little guy. I don't. Well, I don't know if my arm, right now, I don't know if my arm could take firing both barrels out of a 12 gauge, but yeah, I probably would try it once.
Well, I tried it once, and that was years ago. I've shrunk. I used to be 6 foot and a pinch over, and now I'm like 5'11" or something. So I'm shrinking, but I don't know. I'm about $175 or whatever. I'm tall and thin, and I don't know. Watch my videos, you can see I'm tall and thin, but yeah, I just have no desire to abuse my shoulder that much unless it's a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, that 250, that's not overly fat either.
That's tactical fat. Okay.
I'm not. I'm not all that much. There's a lot of that's muscle.
You are, what'd you say? You're what? 6 what?
6 even.
6 even and 250?
Yeah.
That's about right. I mean, you're bulky. I mean, but you're not.
No, yeah. I'm not.
Have you ever pulled both barrels, Gary?
No, never.
Yeah. My issue right now.
I really want to, too bad. Actually, I'm not even sure I've ever shot a double barrel.
I have. The only other shotgun that I fired that was worse than the 10 gauge as far as recoil was my stepfather's single shot 12 gauge. That thing was full choke from factory. It wasn't a choke tube. The barrel itself, the bore, it was full choke bore.
Wow.
What
That
did
thing
what did the shotgun weigh? Like 3 pounds total?
No,
A lot of them
it was
single
heavy.
shot shotguns are so light that
No,
they kick her.
this thing was heavy. It was for a single barrel shotgun. It was heavy. It was around 5-6 pounds. And man, that thing would that hurt. Even with a recoil pad on there, that thing hurt like a son of a bitch.
That's what I learned to hunt with. My dad found me a single shot 12 gauge. He bought it at an auction somewhere, but it was an older one.
What about the Winchester Model 37A 12 gauge single shot break action? That's the gun my dad bought for my brother when he was a kid, and I'm holding it right now. That's the only shotgun that I own.
Probably some memories there, right?
I mean, is it like a decent shotgun, or?
Well, I'm
Kinda
sure
like
it
a run of
is.
the mill kind of deal. I've never looked it up or anything like that. Like,
Has it done good all these years? Then it's probably a good shotgun.
Yeah.
this thing hasn't been fired in probably 25 years.
Get some of those clean shot and put it through it. Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard Clover's podcast that he did with the guys from Clean Shot. The guy that founded that company. I think right now it's only available to his Patreons. Am I right on that one, Gary? You're one of his Patreons, aren't you?
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it, but I saw his Patreon post.
Or listened to. It's not a video. It's a podcast.
I do know that Clover is still banned from YouTube.
He's not banned. He just can't do any
live streaming. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he gets his lifted right around the SHOT Show.
Yeah, and why he got a strike at whatever. Frickin' YouTube.
We haven't figured that one out yet. That's still we're still trying to figure that one out.
He was a bad boy.
He didn't do anything.
He had to have done something. He was a bad boy.
No.
YouTube said he was a bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, they said he did one thing. He appealed it. They came back and said he did something else. They don't know what he did.
What does she say? They F you at the drive-through? Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna go all Joe Pesci and Lethal Weapon 2 on us here?
Yeah. They F you at the drive-through. You're halfway home and they F you at the drive-through. Yeah. I don't know. Dude, I'm looking at, hey, the first night that I tried to be on Hank Strange's show, it's like all set up and topics weren't anything. It was something Trump doing this, and Christ, we've had all kinds of crazy topics, and we're going along, and all of a sudden, boom, shut us down, and we didn't know why. And
I heard this story before.
It boiled down to there was some trolls in the chat that for some reason that night there were some trolls, and we all blocked them, and then they went and reported us, and boom, shut us down. So yeah, I don't know, the whole YouTube thing and strikes and whatever.
Wasn't that one of his anniversary episodes? That was like the 200th episode, wasn't it?
I was on his 200th episode. Sarge was on there. Clover was on there. I think Ghost was on there. A bunch of people came on. I came on the last 15 minutes, hung out for a few minutes. But he's approaching 300 now, so, you know.
Yeah, and Thursday night, man, Ghost just had to go and cut him off when he's getting ready to promote this channel, right? I don't know if you caught that or not, AA, on Thursday.
Yes, I did. Ghost was like, and then Hank. It's how the show rolls, and it's like
Ghost doesn't even, Ghost doesn't even realize he did it. It's the best part. I brought it up last night on Snob's show, and he was like, "Huh, what?"
Who is Hank Strange?
You don't know who Hank Strange is?
I've heard you guys talk about him, but I've never heard of him.
Look up Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. He does a 2-hour show every weeknight, Monday through Friday.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I've heard you guys talk about him, but aside from that, I have no idea who he was.
Hey Google, what's the forecast?
In Linden tomorrow.
And that guy's been lived everywhere. He was born in South America. He's lived in Africa, England, the United States. Am I missing anything? Good Lord, he's been everywhere.
Is he an older guy?
No, he's around our age.
Is he military or is he just rich? I mean, like, how does he get to do all the traveling?
He's around a lot. He's lived in Africa, England.
Summary from the website universetoday.com. Zodiac signs and their dates. The order of these
Okay,
astrological signs is Aries, Taurus,
Okay, Google,
Gemini.
stop.
Who's listening to a commercial at this point? Is that Gary's fault? Gary, are you having trouble with Alexa? Alexa, buy cookies.
Like I said, Rich, I'd like to have you on the show. I'll talk to Hank. Hank's all about promoting smaller channels because Hank understands the whole, we all got to stick together. And some of the people he's had on, including me, when I was on the first time, my channel was tiny. I mean, we ain't big now. We're a little short of 400, but we weren't even there. But he's had people on, and it doesn't matter. He is all about helping and promoting us, what we do. And if I could get any of you guys on, would be cool.
Yeah, when I first started my Instagram thing, he followed me on his account, his Stranger Palooza account. So I was like, and his secondary account, which I can't remember what the name of it is. He's got the Hank Strange, he's got the Stranger Palooza, which is one does his car, where he does his car stuff, and then he's got the backup account for the Hank Strange account. He followed me on all three of them.
The B channel, Lifestyles of Locked and Loaded.
No, on Instagram, it's something else.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't do Instagram, if I remember right.
Very little. I got an Instagram account. It's more focused toward phone, and I got it on my laptop, and I never downloaded the app for my phone because if I did, my phone would probably not have enough storage because it's cheap. But yeah, I do have an Instagram account. I just don't do anything with it. But yeah, like I said, man, Hank is all about promoting people and content and telling you, man, all I got to do is say, hey, Hank, I got some friends that would like to be on. I could send Lola a text, and yeah, you never know. I ain't promising nothing, but it'd be cool.
No, that's how Ghost and Clover got in there, right?
Yeah. I actually, I can't remember. I know Clover, he met up with Hank at, was it at SHOT or NRAM? Anyway, but I was communicating. I was communicating with these guys going, I'd love to have these guys on, and it happened. So, you know, that's what I said. I mean, we all work together. You know, just because I know them guys and I got their phone, it doesn't matter. We all work together. And I would love that.
I still can't get over his reaction on Thursday, though, when he found out it's my real name. that was freaking hilarious. He didn't know what to say after that. And Ghost was like, yeah, he's one of my mods. He's Richard White. And Hank was like, okay. He didn't know what to say.
Yes, I am rich, but you didn't say I'm rich and white.
Yeah, right?
You know, the funny thing is, too, man, he's a black man, but he's not. And people say black people can't be racist, and I say that's a crock of crap. And he's not at all. He is totally down to earth dude. He sees the world for what it is and not for what the media tells you it is. So, and that's one of the reasons that I started watching his stuff so much and his podcasts, and, you know, so.
I was watching him 2 or 3 years ago before he did so much live stuff. Back then, he did a lot of pre-recorded stuff, and that's how I got to know Hank Strange. Then all of a sudden he started being a big deal on the internet and doing all these, live shows and stuff. But he's always been a character. I always liked watching his stuff.
Hank is a character. Well, Hank found out, just like a lot of us, that live streaming is where it's at. The funny thing is talking with Lola, his wife, and Hank wanted to do it 7 days a week. And Lola said, I don't think so. So,
Well, live chats is where the fun is,
Well, yeah. But
you get cut up and then stuff like this, and it's like, then you go back and watch, like, do we say that? Like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Japanese food episode of this show.
I don't think you want to go there.
Gary was there.
I was there. Yes, that was epic.
But yeah, I mean, honestly,
you want to talk about rabbit holes? This was a rabbit hole the size of
Man.
Mauna Lea. Yeah, I was gonna say Mauna Lea's crater.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, man, I'll y'all want me to try and get any of you guys on Hank's channel? I'll do it. I mean, I'll try. I ain't promising nothing, but it'd be cool to see you on there. I mean, we're all small channels. We're we ain't freaking Demolition Ranch huge, big or nothing. And it's us helping everybody else, and we're all pro 2A, and it'd be cool. Just be prepared if you go on the channel to talk about random off the wall crap. Well, wait a minute.
Here?
I was just going to say, what are we doing here?
And who knows what else?
I heard from a very reliable source.
We're talking about Hank Strange. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, David. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I heard from a very reliable source that Demolition Ranch hates kids.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
He has a few of his own, so I'm not sure, but I don't know.
There's a story behind that. Clover's not.
I got his dad's phone number. I should text his dad and say, "Hey, Lee, I heard Matt hates kids." But anyway,
the whole thing started because it was SHOT Show last year, wasn't it? Clover had one of the kids that he works with in 4-H wanted an autographed picture with Demolition Ranch, right?
Yeah, I think
Clover
so. That was SHOT Show last
trying
year.
to call him and stuff to get that set up, and he just ignored Clover completely.
All I can say is this: is if I was Matt and you watch all the crap that he's doing, I don't know how the hell he finds the time. I mean, he's got 3 channels. He's a veterinarian. He does that, and he does that bunker branding. I couldn't keep up. I honestly, I don't know how the hell he keeps up.
Yeah,
I really don't.
He could have messaged Clover back and said, "I don't have time right now. Can we meet later or somewhere?" Blah blah blah. Or something. Something along those. He didn't even have the courtesy to message Clover back and said that he, to say that he couldn't right now or what have you.
The problem that I have with that argument is, like, if you've got a regular job and then you do this for fun and for hanging out and just enjoying, making content and, getting in conversations with people and watching your friends' videos and stuff, but YouTube is your job, then you can't say he didn't have enough time to respond back to Clover and say, I can't do it. If it's just Demolition Ranch's
schedule was, because
it doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't.
They're meeting with this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that person. When you go to one of these trade shows, you're there to be making contact with people. I've been to trade shows. It's not like going to an outdoor SHOT Show. Is not like going to an outdoor show.
Right, but you also if a text message takes 10 seconds to give, or if you're that big of a deal,
he could have messaged him back and said, "I can't do that right now because I got this meeting. He didn't bother to even get back to Clover and apologize and say, "No, I don't have time," or what have you.
Yeah, that's
That's
my
what
point.
Clover's big problem was, the fact that he didn't even have the courtesy to message him back and say that he wasn't going to be able to do it. He basically, Clover's mind blew it off.
That's my
Yeah.
point. This is Demolition Ranch's job. So that's a terrible, like, if I got to go to work in the morning and I don't have time to text you back, that's because I got a real job. You know,
Got a
it's
job.
but
Yeah,
what's
I
he
was
do?
going to say he's a veterinarian,
He's a
He's a-
veterinarian.
and
the stuff, whatever he's getting from YouTube, he puts that right back into the veterinary business.
well, he puts it back into. I was talking to his dad. A lot of the guns that you see he gets them because he's making money on YouTube. Otherwise, he
Well,
couldn't afford them. Now,
That's my
like I
point
said, he's
about
a
it being his
veterinarian.
job.
Well, he's a veterinarian by trade,
And he's a
and
YouTuber by trade.
And he owns that. He bought that clinic, so he pretty much has his own veterinary clinic. So he owns a whole business.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't he do videos on the veterinary thing too?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's Vet Ranch. Yeah, he does videos there. Like I said, he bought the veterinary clinic off his dad. He does off the ranch, demolition ranch, and vet ranch, and he also has his business, which is t-shirt making and swag making, bunker branding. That's his biggest, newest thing. And honestly, the guy's busy, and I'm not giving him any pass or anything, but I just wonder how many emails and texts and he gets a day.
And his wife was working as a full-time accountant or something like that.
She's a full-time mom now, so well,
I think when he was finishing up vet school, she worked to help put him through vet school.
She did. She worked. He went to vet school. So, and now she's a mom and kids. Like I said, with his new business, bunker branding, and the whole t-shirt making thing, and now he's doing like Forge from Freedom. It's not just his stuff. It's other content creators. And of course, it's just like Forge from Freedom. Oh, you got to be so big and have enough volume for us to produce this. And I can understand that whole thing, because for a company to say, okay, we're going to take on your making your shirts unless you're going to sell X amount, it's not worth our money. So it's all business. But like I said, the whole Clover not getting back to him, I'm not making excuses. He's a busy dude. That's all I'm going to say. He's a busy dude.
Well, anyway, that's where the story or the joke about him hating kids comes from. In case anybody was wondering, who's heard the Demo Ranch hates kids but doesn't know where it originated, that's where it originated.
I'm going to send his dad a text tomorrow just because I can and go, hey, we were talking last night and there's a rumor going around that Matt hates kids because he wouldn't respond.
Rich
It
will
wasn't
get an email.
Clover wasn't doing it for himself. He legitimately, one of the kids he works with at 4-H is a huge Demo Ranch fan. And
Right.
Just wanted an autograph with Clover with him, But,
well, it's kind of funny how his dad is Dr. Lee, who is off the ranch with Dr. Lee. I started watching his videos and found out he was a musician, plays guitars. He's got a couple music videos on his channel, and I started commenting. He commented back, and I sent him an email. It was about our Creator Summit that we had last fall here in Ohio at Thunder Valley Precision Long Range Shooting, and I sent him an email going, man, it'd be great if you could come. And he says, here's my email. I sent him an email, and I said, yeah, man, this is the details. Here's my number if you need to get a hold of me. Like 3 days later, he texts me and says, hey, it's Lee. Wanted you to have my number. Cool. And we've been texting back and forth ever since. Now, mind you, most of it is we talk a lot about music and guitars, and because he's a musician, he's a guitar player, and you know what I mean? But we talk about a lot of stuff, and it would be funny to send him a text jokingly going, hey, I hear Matt doesn't like kids. Honestly, I think it's just because Matt's so goddamn busy that like I said, I look at all that he's doing with all his channels, with his bunker branding, with his job. I don't even know how he keeps up, because at my age, there ain't no way in heck that I'm going to keep up.
So how about them shotguns?
How many shotguns you all have?
I have
got-
one.
I got 2.
I have one.
I've just got the one Winchester I was just talking about.
Well, I got 1 shotgun and 1 not a shotgun, firearm shotgun.
Wow, I actually have more shotguns than you all do. I have 4 of them.
Yeah, that's 4 more than I have because the one that I do have isn't really for shooting.
Well, I have my dad's old 12 gauge from back when he used to bird hunt, and then I have mine that he bought me when I was a kid, and then about 30 years ago I bought a 410 single shot breakover. And then this year I bought it's a Rossi combination 22 long rifle, and then it's got the changeable barrels, and the other barrel is a 20 gauge shotgun. So right now I have it configured as a shotgun. Both of them are single shots. So technically I have a 410, I have a 20 gauge, and I have 2 12 gauges. One of the 12 gauges is cut down to an 18.5 barrel.
The conversion shotgun, do you do the conversion often? Or have you ever, switched it over? Like, how well does the conversion work? Is it easy? And
Just got to take out a screw and you just pull the stock off and it just pops right off. You can literally do it inside of a minute.
I have 7 Wonders has a question out there. He wants to know, so does Matt like gay Germans? Maybe. If you've watched Strudel Time gameplay, you have to ask that question. just saying,
Yeah, that kind of spread from just a fun thing they did one weekend. Now it's become every weekend.
It's a Friday show now.
I know.
It's what, 80s?
You know, it's funny. It's funny because they get in there and they talk with their German accent, and I know like a very, very small German amount, but I'll go to Google Translator and I just type in silly shit and then put it over there in German just to mess with them.
Did you watch Friday's episode where Matt was doing the Southern hillbilly redneck accent?
I might have caught part of that. I remember I commented and he replied in his German accent, like, "Oh, Armin and Axel." Yeah, he's funny.
What the God. Gotta cook that meth. What are you doing? Get over there. Cook that meth. Cook that meth. Get the meth. Get the meth. Put the meth in the truck. Oh, game where they playing Payday 2 or some shit. Yeah, the mission they were on, they had to cook meth.
I'm not a gamer. I played games when I was younger, video games. I just not a gamer. My buddy, the Tyven Show, if you ain't checked his channel out, we call him, you heard of the Crazy Ivan, we call him the Crazy Tyven, but he's not that crazy. He's just,
Yes, he is.
He's excitable. Let's put it that way. Tyven is excitable. Okay.
Tyven's a crazy dude.
He's my brother. I love him. He's
a skinny little crazy guy. What are you
he's full of energy and he's go. But yeah, he's a good bro. But yeah, he has his gaming channel, and I seen he went live tonight, and I jumped over there and hung out for a few minutes. Yeah, we've got to shoot with Tyven, I don't know, 3-4 times now, and he's an excitable dude. That's all it is. But he's a good brother, man. He is. He's pro 2A, you know what I mean? But he's a gamer, and I'm not a gamer. I don't game.
Again, he was one of the first people that followed me on Instagram.
There you go. So, like I said, good dude.
I don't even know how him and Hank found me on Instagram. That's the best part.
You probably said something 2A and it popped up and they found you. That's
Yeah,
how.
Same thing. Hank's following me on Instagram too, and it's like, wow.
On
Yeah,
all three of
that's
his
a-
panels, Gary.
No, I've never been on any of his panels.
No, I mean is he following you on all three of his Instagram channels?
I don't
This-
think so.
He followed me on all three of his Instagram channels. I think Lola following me over there too. I mean,
What's the name of all his?
you got the one is Hank Strange, just his name. The
Right.
other one is Stranger Palooza, and I forget what the B channel is, but he has a B channel on there too.
Right.
Stranger
I don't know.
Palooza is
I don't
separate
know.
from his gun stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Lifestyles Locked and Loaded.
No,
That's what it is.
I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah, but hey, like I said, that's Hank. That's Lola. They, if they see that you're supporting what they're supporting, and we're all in the same boat, and all the people that he has on his channel, 90% of them, I have talked with all of them. It's just if that's what we're pro 2A, and he's going to support you. You know what I mean? He's going to follow you. He's going to sub you because that's what it's all
Walter
about.
followed me over there too on the Safety Harbor Firearms channel. His
Oh yeah.
Instagram. So
Psycho
Walter.
saying B channel is Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
yeah, is that what it is on Instagram?
That's what Psycho just put in the chat room.
Yeah, I know. But we're talking Instagram, not YouTube. So I was wondering.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it is on Instagram. So
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I know that's the B channel on YouTube. I don't know if that's the B channel
That's,
on Instagram or not.
we call it the blackout. The night I was on, and we were on his regular channel, and he got the strike, and we got blacked out. We went to the B channel, and from then on, he decided that's where he was going to do his podcast from, was the B channel, which is Lifestyles and Locked and Loaded. But it's just, I feel like I was part of history there, that the nights the lights went out in strange land. I don't know. Yeah, they blacked us out, cut us off, bastards.
And, we got to correct Seven Wonders out there. It's not Yankee, it's Wanky. Wanky, and that's
Okay.
that's Biker Bob's fault.
I'm going to put it out there public. I can't stand the guy.
We've
I'm
already
sorry.
done the Wanky thing.
I can't stomach him. I mean, and it's funny because he was on Match Channel and he said something that I actually agreed with, and I was shocked. Other than that, I can't stomach the guy.
Wanky has his moments, like his gun, the things he does with the guns for the vets and the guns for people who can't afford to go out and buy their own. I'll give him credit for that. Not much else, but I'll give him credit for that.
honestly, I just listened to his, and oh well, just look at his icon and the Yankee with eyeshadow and drag. Okay, dude, whatever, dude. Yeah.
Him at Halloween dressed up as Harley Quinn.
And he likes.
The Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and I think he said something about liking midget hookers or something, but whatever.
Midget training hookers.
Yeah, midget tranny hookers. There it is.
That's
I'm
always been a joke, though. The worst part though is I think Yankee's going to see now, because the older he gets, the worse he gets. If you look back at his early videos and stuff, the guy is legitimately funny when he's not doing political shit.
When he's not being an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably about my age.
Yeah,
think-
he's in his 50s.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, I watched some of his stuff, and I listened to him on Matt's thing, and I'm like, it makes me want to not watch. You know what I mean? Whenever he talks, I just want to hit mute.
Whenever he's on Matt's channel, I pop in and say hello. I bump into you a lot and say hello, Armament, and then bounce.
Yeah.
Because
I've done that too.
I just say hello to the people in the chat and leave. And I can understand disagreeing
here's
with
the thing.
somebody's politics. It's just there's a bunch of other people on the panel that I want to hear from,
Yeah,
and he
here's
just
the thing
takes
with
over the
Yankee.
show.
When Yankee's on Matt's show, very rarely does he stay the whole time. So pop out and then check back in a half hour, 45 minutes. He might be gone by then.
I
Right.
just think he needs to let other people talk sometimes.
Well, I was going to say this. We tend to talk over each other here, but we try not to. But Yankee is the biggest guy that'll say, "Stop talking over me. I'm trying to say something." But when you're trying to say something, he'll just keep going. He won't let you.
Did you see the about a year ago when he literally came right out on Matt's show and told Night Strike to shut the fuck up? Oh my God, the chat blew up. Everybody was going off on Yankee in the chat.
Was Night Strike?
I don't
was
mean
Night
the
Strike
panel.
on the
I
show?
mean the YouTube chat window. Everybody went nuts.
So was Night Strike actually on the panel that night?
Yeah.
Oh, what Night Strike say?
Night Strike just sat there and took it.
Well, it could have gotten into a big pissing match when he would have said, "You shut the F up." And yeah, I don't know. I'm keeping it clean. I could have.
Night Strike, shut the fuck up. I'm talking here.
All right, well, you said it then. Shut the fuck up. See?
Everybody was yelling at Yankee in the YouTube chat and at Matt for letting Yankee get away with it.
Well, good for them, because I guess I'm not the only one that does that, right?
I remember that because I was defending Night Strike. Well, that was one of the ones going off on Yankee. Like, I forget who it was. They were going to invite Yankee to one of the chats. You might have been there, Gary. I don't remember whose chat it was, but I was like, I don't think you want me and Yankee in the same room.
I don't think I caught that show. I might have, but you know, we do this a lot. We get online, and it's hard to keep track of all the shows we do go to or watch or participate in. But I don't recall that, but I could see it. I could totally see that. Yankee, yeah, wow.
The worst part is Yankee still thinks that whatever the fuck her name was, the idiot that was accusing Kavanaugh before Congress, was credible.
Does he know a lot about firearms? Like, he's another one. I never heard of him until one day Ghost did a video about him, and then starting to pop in the match chat. Like I said, he was just overbearing, and I didn't like listening to him, so I would skip out. And then I'd start hearing some of the stuff that he would say, and I clearly disagree with most of what he says. I mean, he's got the right to say it, but I'm just not going to tune into the show while he's there. But does he know a lot about firearms? Like, is he knowledgeable about firearms?
Psycho's, yeah, he knows stuff about guns. Yankee knows guns, but he's still.
And I think a lot of his stances and the way he rubs people the wrong way, my opinion on that is that's by design. He's controversial intentionally.
Yeah, he's trying to be a shock jock.
Yeah, I think that's totally it. I don't think he just accidentally hurting people's feelings. I think he knows he does that because it's entertaining.
Well, Psycho just said Matt needs to stop inviting him, and I said my response was, well, watching the chat, I would say over half the people in the chat don't like him. So I get what you're saying, the shock value, but Matt, I don't know. I'm not Matt. I don't know his
I watch those chats too, and I don't see people bailing. I mean, a few do.
I have.
The numbers are still there.
I have. And I love hanging out there.
Where Yankee's on there and he gets started, it's like, I don't feel like listening to this shit, and I bounce out. I'm out of there.
I'm a moderator there, and I will bail. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear his mouth. I really don't. Honestly, it's.
But a lot of young people follow Yankee around.
Well,
Psycho's
He
asking
probably
if
follows young
I guess
people
he's
around.
asking if I've been banned. No, I haven't been banned from Yankee, and I've gotten into it with him on his show.
I have too.
He's actually I'm one of the few people I think that's ever actually gotten him to respond without it being a super chat.
I did once because I typed in his chat. Somebody asked, "Well, why doesn't Yankee answer my questions or pay attention to the chat?" And I made some comment, something to the effect of, "You got to pay to get answers to your questions around here," or something like that. And Yankee read that.
Yeah.
He
We-
kind of got pissed about it, and he said, "No, you don't have to pay. You can send an email." He said, "I can't possibly read the chats around here." He says, "And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out of here for all I care."
That sounds like you.
He just said, "Bye, Dick."
Yeah, we got into it. We got into it one night because he kept insisting that the United States is a democracy. My minor was in political science, and with a double minor in American history, he kept arguing with me that the United States was a democracy. Now, I know better because A, I'm a political science minor. Two, I'm an American history minor. I know what the founders were basing the United States government on, and it wasn't democracy.
I mean, you don't even have to guess. It's written right in the founding documents. A representative republic.
Like, well, I don't know where you took political science. I fired back at him. Obviously, not the school you went to.
You know, I mean, you can look it up on the internet. It's written right there.
And
All
I
I
was
can
like,
say is we're
he kept telling everybody, "You got to go take a civics class. Right? Go take a civics class." And after that, and he started that again. I was like, "Well, Yankee, why don't you go take a civics class? Because I learned civics in high school that the United States is not a democracy."
I did too. The 9th grade, I learned civics. We are a republic. We are a democratic republic, but
we're a representative republic.
Well, yes.
If you look at every country that has called themselves a democratic republic, they've all been socialist.
Yeah, they turned socialist. So
no, they didn't turn socialist. They all were socialist from the start. The most famous.
You got a degree. I don't. Shut up.
The best way to describe a democracy, and I apologize, Gary, is two wolves and a chicken voting for what's for dinner.
Oh, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
That's why we don't, and our founding fathers knew that. That's why they made up a representative republic.
Name one successful democracy. Just one.
David, I can say this: that how many times do you go to the voting booth and vote for the lesser two evils?
Oh yeah, for sure. Totally.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I pissed off some liberal on Instagram the other day. They were going off about how the United States is a democracy. And I asked them that question, and they were like, "I don't know, were there any?" I was like, "No, there's been just as many successful democracies as there's been successful socialist countries." Oh man, did that set them off? They did not like that one bit.
Well, it's not hard to set off liberal Democrats or liberal snowflakes or whatever you want to call them, because all you got to do is point out truth and common sense, and you're going to set them off.
It's like, how can you say that? How can you say that? Well, I said, simply put, democracy is the word that socialists use to cover up their socialism. Everybody, every country who has ever claimed to be a democratic republic was a socialist country, and the most famous of them being East Germany, the DDR, the Deutsche Democratic Republic. That was the official name of East Germany.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yes, I speak a little.
Isn't North Korea like the People's Republic of North Korea or something like that right now?
Yeah, and China is the People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
Taiwan is the Republic of China. Totally different country, but they're both China. Technically speaking, both China and Taiwan are China.
So Taiwan's run under China's government now?
No, Taiwan's not under. China claims they are, but there's not a country. I don't think there's any countries that recognize Taiwan as being a separate country.
Yeah, there was a big deal back when Trump first got elected that they elected their president, we'll say, in Taiwan, and he called to congratulate him. And China was all angry about that
Yeah,
because
China threw a fit. But yeah, and Trump said he was considering recognizing Taiwan. No country has recognized Taiwan as being an independent country. Technically speaking, according to the UN, because Taiwan is part of China. The UN will not even seat a representative from Taiwan in the UN. Nobody has an embassy in Taiwan. It's all consulates.
yeah, the UN's like the most useless government body out there, I think.
But they're not even a government.
Well, you know what I mean. That's the only way to
They
really
want to
describe
be.
it.
They want to be a government. They want to tell everybody what to do. And their goal is to take over the world and be the world government. If you look at Star Trek, that's basically what ends up happening because the Federation flag is the UN flag just done on a galactic level instead of a planetary level.
Well, that's one of the things that, you know, it's great to think that we're going to go to Mars and we're going to colonize the moon. The number one reason that that stuff's not going to happen is as soon as Bangladesh says we're getting ready to go build a house on Mars, every other country is going to aim their weapons at them and say, "I don't think you are." You know, I
And we
don't
just
think that's going to happen.
as soon as the Zentradi invade that all.
I'm not sure what weapons we have on Earth that can hit Mars accurately, but yeah, I see your point.
Well,
yeah, we
it's
hit Mars.
obviously it's obviously a military
You
issue.
forget one thing, AA. When you launch something into space, as long as it doesn't get diverted, it's going to keep going in that direction. So we can hit Mars with a missile. We've already hit it with rockets.
Yeah, every action there's an opposite and equal reaction in space, and it's talking about civics earlier, and I don't know how this came up in a civics class, but it was a science thing, and we were talking about firing a gun in space. And the neat thing, I can say this: my civics teacher in high school was the best teacher I ever had. His son is a friend of mine. The guy knew how to teach, to open your mind and make you think about things and point views out. And what he let happen in the class was kids debate it. And he was the moderator. And so much in that class, but it came up in that class that would a gun work in space? Well, yes, it would, because inside the primer, the powder, there's the oxygen. It doesn't matter if you're in zero gravity. It doesn't matter. There's enough oxygen contained inside the propellant that it would work. A gun will fire in space. Now, on Earth, you have people saying that if I shoot you with a 44 Magnum, it's going to pick you up off your feet and throw you off the ground. Guess what's going to happen to the shooter? Same thing.
Except for 45 Magnum, he was. I mean, 44. Well, there is a 45 as well, but
you know what I'm saying. Same thing. Opposite and equal reaction.
Yeah, I know. So I was going to say, yeah, you can fire a gun in space, but you're going to go.
Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get blown back. That gun is a rocket. Recoil, that going. It's how do rockets work?
The larger the caliber, the faster you're going to go flying backwards.
There you go. So yeah, guns will work in space.
Yeah,
but you're right. There is no, unless there's gravitational push on anything, which here's an interesting fact, and I've said this many times. Einstein said, you know what gravity is? It's not an object pulling you towards it. It's space pushing back. There's an interesting thought. Think about that. An object in space distorts space, and space is pushing back. I went, well, you know, you've been right about a lot of other things there, Mr. Albert. Gun in space, gun blow you back as far as anything you put. So make a nice carry like a 22 or something and go like they do with the little rockets. I don't know. I'm just being silly.
Psycho's saying we need to dump Trump. He won't vote for anybody who stabbed gun owners in the back. What has Trump done so far? Nothing. He hasn't. I haven't seen him sign any executive order banning bump stocks yet. The only thing I've seen is one story that everybody and their mother is out there quoting, and it comes from CNN, who I wouldn't believe if they told me the sky was blue on a sunny day. So that's it. That's until somebody else comes out saying that Trump is planning to sign this executive order and it's imminent. You get Fox, Breitbart, anybody but CNN come out saying it. I might take it more credibly. I mean, it's amazing how everybody yells and screams about how CNN is fake news, but as soon as they come out saying that Trump's going to ban bump stocks and nobody else is saying it except CNN, everybody starts quoting CNN and the sky is falling. You can't have it both ways. Is CNN telling the truth or are they fake news?
I don't know. I'm going to say this about bump stocks. Trump ran on the NRA thing and vote for him and blah, blah, blah. And of course, what choice did we have? Were you going to vote for Hillary? I'm definitely not going to vote for Hillary.
Yeah. So take the guns now and due process later. Did it happen? No.
Yes. That he said that though. He's like,
he said it, but Trump said a lot of things. Has he done it?
No. And this is the funny thing when I watch, and this is the whole third level chess that everybody talks about. And I seen the footage of him and said with Feinstein and like, oh yeah, Feinstein's like, oh, you ready? Let's do this. Now is that Trump going, go ahead, do what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna veto it? I don't know. But for Trump to come out and go, for him to come out and go, bump stocks, they're gone, they're banned. Oh, well, really? Okay. Now wait a minute.
Keep in mind that was all a year ago, and he hasn't done shit in a year.
He hasn't signed anything. The only thing I'm saying is,
I'm talking about with Psycho's next the comment about to take the gun. That was a year ago that he hasn't done anything.
Right.
That's Florida. Now he's saying about Florida. Trump had nothing to do with the Florida thing. That was Rick Scott.
Yeah, that was Rick Scott. So politics. Yeah. I can say this is the only thing that bugged me about Trump saying, the bump stock thing and bump stocks are gone. And there's no proof that a bump stock was used in Vegas. And if it was, that was one time and we're just going to ban that. Now, do I have a use for a bump stock? No. You know what they are? They're a novelty. They're a fun toy, the blah, blah, blah. I have no use for it. But for you to go, nope, you can't have that. Got a problem with that.
Trump says a lot of shit. He said a lot that he was going to do a lot of shit that he hasn't done. And this is just another one of those things where he says he's going to do something and it's been a year and he hasn't done shit.
Well, the bump stock thing did pass, but I'm waiting for him to sign it.
No, there's no law. That was just going to be an executive order. The Congress did nothing on bump stocks.
So it's just one more niche. That's like saying I can't put
Psycho. You specifically said Trump, and then you brought up about Scott. I'm not saying
you brought up Scott.
You're wrong about Republicans in general stabbing us in the back. I'm just saying Trump may have said something stupid, but he hasn't acted on it.
You were roboting on my end. No, you brought up Scott, Florida, and yes, he same thing. The shooting there in Florida, and he just jumped on it and blah blah and this and that. And I was like, then again, they're politicians. They're going to jump on the emotional reaction of people and ride the wave. Get them reelected.
The ATF isn't doing anything with bump stocks. Quit reading CNN and thinking that CNN is telling you the truth.
I am not reading CNN.
And even then, CNN didn't report that it was the ATF. Trump's executive order, if CNN were telling the truth, would have to go through the ATF. But he hasn't done anything. The ATF isn't doing anything. Yeah, you are, because everything that is being quoted right now about the bump stocks, that's all coming from one CNN article. Everybody who is publishing stories on that story is citing CNN as their source, which if you read the source article from CNN, that is all coming from some anonymous source.
There was a lot of roboting going on, but yes, look, ain't nobody said you can't own it yet, even I don't own one, but I'm just waiting to see how it plays out. I'm paying attention to the laws and, if this law is signed and whatnot, but I don't know. I still drew the line in the sand and went, well, I lost all my things in a boating accident, right? Yeah. Hey, Gizzard, what's up?
Not a whole lot.
Well, gentlemen, it's 11:30 on the East Coast, and I got to work in the morning. So, Mr. Gizzard, Armament Axis, Mr. Rich, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. Great conversation. Everybody out in the chat, have a great night, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah,
All right,
no problem, David. I think we never did get around to answering your question.
Yeah,
I think the answer was pump action shotgun is the way to go.
Honestly,
be my vote.
That's my vote, because you know something, a semi-auto can screw up, but a pump action, it works. Okay, can we all agree a pump action works? It just does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
if you
think
want
it
to
was
get
a clean
semi-auto,
sweep.
you want to get a semi-auto, I would go with like a Vepr
Sciaga.
12. A Vepr 12 if you could find one. They're a great shotgun. The one the military uses that's completely slipping my mind right now. The Benelli M4, that's it, or the M1040, 1014, something like that. But yeah, something like that. Or the Mossberg. Mossberg makes a good semi-auto. So, I
Rich?
just can't put a number on it right now. It's 930 or something like that. But anyway, yeah. If I were going with a semi-auto, that's what I would do. And I can back this up because I have a Vepr 12. So.
I was just gonna say I was trying to interrupt, but I shouldn't have been interrupting. But my butt put out.
And you're breaking up again.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
All right, David.
Have
Yeah.
a good night.
Yep, you too.
All right.
My buddy that I got my last gun from, he has one of those Vepr 12s, and it's fun. A 12 gauge 8.
It's not an AK. It's not technically. It's not an AK. It's actually built off the RPK.
Well,
It uses an RPK receiver and everything.
we laugh because most boot.
And yeah, I didn't hear half of that. You're breaking up again.
Alrighty, man. I'm gonna go. I guess I'm breaking up. Peace, brother. Thanks for the invite.
Yep, no problem.
Yep. Good night.
I understand the internet issues. Trust me. I've been there. Gary can attest to that.
Yep.
All right, good. Talk soon.
Yep. Good night.
Yep, you have a good night, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Later. Yeah. I guess we can start wrapping this up all together unless you got anything you want to talk about, Gary.
What was that?
So I guess we can start wrapping this up all together if we're going to be only two here, unless you got something to talk about.
I think I'm about all talked out. I think we've talked all the shotgun talk we can talk about, and politics, and
Yeah, that was a hell of a shotgun discussion, wasn't it?
I like talking about shotguns.
Yeah.
That's all I ever had growing up. That's all we had in the house. So, love the shotguns. Almost bought me another one. I don't know why I need all these shotguns, but
I don't know.
I don't know why. I guess it doesn't matter why I need them. I wanted them. That's all it amounts to.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You wanted them, so you bought them.
That's right. I like to say it's for the zombie apocalypse, but I don't know about that. Just for my enjoyment and my entertainment. Yeah, I gotta get up and go to work in the morning myself.
Yay. Yep.
In about 6.5 hours.
Yeah, you might want to get to bed.
Well, yeah, usually if I'm on midnights, I go at least till 11, but sometimes a little past that, but I pay for it the next day when I do. Yeah, if I actually got to bed on time, I don't know. I might even smile on Monday morning. You never know.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I got one more week to work this year, and then I'm done. I'm on vacation the rest of the year after this Thursday.
So nobody gets nuclear power the rest of the year?
I've got coworkers. They got it.
You sure?
Well, there's 3 of us that work in the same crew, and basically one of us has to be there every day. So
what if there's a meltdown? Don't they need you to Homer Simpson it?
Not unless they're having computer issues. That's about all I'm going to be good for.
All Homer did was push the right button.
Yeah, he was in a control room, though.
Yeah, he was going eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
They make it seem like everybody in a nuclear power plant works in a control room. There are very few people have access to that room.
Yeah, I was going to keep this going because midnight.
I have been in the control room, but
yeah, I was thinking about keeping this going because Midnight doing his show tonight. But since nobody showed up to be on the panel, I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah, we've pretty much been talking amongst ourselves. We have had the occasional person out there in the text chat, but
at one point we actually had almost 20 people watching.
I think they've just dwindled off. Everybody's
they went over to probably the Scotsman show or Gun Gals.
Yeah, I don't know who's still going now. Let me take a look real quick and see.
Well, Psycho just said that Gun Gals is still going.
Gun Gal's still going, and Scotsman and Alaskan Ballistics has something going on too.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's awful late for Gun Gals.
Well, they started. What time do they start? 9:30 Central, which would be 10:30 Eastern. So no, they're only 5 minutes over.
And Seven Wonders said he made about 100 comments. Yeah, he did. He's been out there in the chat.
Yeah.
He's been a loyal listener.
Yes, he has. Psycho's been talking out there a lot too.
Yeah, Sarge was in for a little bit.
Yeah, I saw Sarge out there. He had a link. He just never jumped in. Guess he's working.
Mr. Knives popped in for a while.
Yep, Knives was out there.
Vanessa was in earlier.
Yeah.
Travis T.
Yep.
So yeah, we had some people out there. Sure did. And as normal, we solved all the world's problems, at least for now, until new ones crop up. So
yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, or try to anyway. Solving all the world's problems one silliness at a time.
Yep, we always find something to talk about.
Yeah. Even if we're off topic.
That's true. Although I don't know, did we actually have a topic?
We had the shotgun topic that we never fully got around to. We kept getting distracted with other topics.
All right, we'd talk about it for a while, and then we'd bridge off to something else, and we'd have to refocus.
Yeah. See, we
At least
talked.
we didn't talk about any Japanese food and stuff like that.
Yeah, we didn't go down that rabbit hole. Gunpowder and RL aren't here, so I'm blaming them as being the catalyst for that whole thing. Well, technically, Gunpowder was the catalyst for that because somehow, somewhere along the way, she brought up about eating sushi off of a naked woman, and that's where the rabbit hole opened up.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got to her saying that point, but I remember that was what got us going down the whole Japanese food thing.
And I know that ended up being a long chat too.
Yeah, that was like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going for a while.
I must not have been working the next day, whatever day we had it.
That was back when we were on Saturdays still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that explains a lot right there.
Yeah, that was back when the show was on 10 o'clock Saturday nights.
Saturday nights, there's usually not a lot going on anyway. So.
Yeah, but with moving and everything, Saturday just got to be too complicated. Sunday was just a better day at that point. That's why we got moved to Sundays at 8 o'clock. And then Gunpowder wasn't able to do the show anymore because of Gun Gals.
That and then moving, she didn't do any shows for a long time.
Yeah, and then I decided on the 8 o'clock spot because Jelsma said he wasn't doing shows anymore.
Yeah.
So I took his spot at 8 o'clock, which was originally going to be my spot anyway, but he took it before I could. I don't remember if you were in on the planning stages or not. But yeah, 8 o'clock was the spot that Tardoc, Gunpowder, and I were going to take when we first started this channel. And Clover and Ghost can back me up on that because they were in on the planning stages with us too. And they were going to be regular guests on the show. Man, how this show has morphed.
Yeah.
We went from being like the 5 on Fox News to just one rabbit hole after another. Because that was what the show was originally going to be, if you remember.
That was back when Jelsma had 2 or 3 shows a week going.
Yeah.
And his nighttime show was some sort of fake news.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole point of this show was we were going to do a recap of stories from the week, and everybody on the panel was going to pick a story, and we were going to spend a little bit of time talking about that story.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It changed.
Yes, it did.
And it'll change again.
Yeah.
The gun channel's landscape changes every once in a while as people come, people go, and different ideas. It's all good.
And that night we were talking about the Oklahoma thing. Oh yeah. Man, that was a special episode there too.
Yeah.
Ghost trolling everybody. Oh, but I laid into him. I figured he probably was playing devil's advocate because I knew what he had said in the past, but I just ran with it because it made good TV.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, me and Ghost still talk about it because he thinks it's hilarious. He's like, I did not think that you were going to do that. I was like, no, I'm not having any of that nonsense.
Well, Seven Wonders and Psycho are going back and forth with each other, basically pretending that we're not paying any attention to them. They said basically if those two leave, it's just us talking to each other.
Well, it's not like that doesn't happen when we go off air anyway. these guys don't know what happens when we go off air. That's where the real fun stuff starts.
Yes, we know you're out there.
Yep.
I got my eyes on the chat. I don't know about Rich, but
I got the YouTube chat open.
I got a separate window open just for the chat.
Yep, I got it popped out. I pop it out and overlay it over top of the Hangout.
Those two need to go live. They could have their own show right there.
Yeah.
They probably talk more than we have.
God damn it, you two, get a channel. Get a room, guys. Get a room.
Or get on this one. If you want to talk, jump on. Shoot.
I'm gonna do something really stupid. There. You want to talk? Get your asses in here.
Better hope Alan's not out there.
Oh, I don't care.
I made the mistake of doing that one time, and he was out there basically kind of just watching. He wasn't posting. Next thing I know, here's Alan in my chat. It's like, uh-oh.
Hey, the best chat's probably still his first.
If you guys haven't done a lot of live chats, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time or two you do it, it's kind of awkward, but after a while, it's just like sitting and talking to somebody across the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than like the old conference calls, you know.
One of these days, you guys will have to join us. We don't care about your voice being soft. Rich can turn you up.
No, I can't. I don't have that.
Oh, you don't have that? Okay.
For some reason, it doesn't want to download. I got it to work one time when I was testing it, and I went to do it tonight, and it didn't want to work.
Well, actually, I think I'm getting sleepy, so I think I'm going to go ahead and bail.
All right. I'll catch you later then, Gary. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks for having me, Rich.
Yep. You're welcome anytime, brother. You know that.
Right, bye out there in the chat. Thanks for being out there.
Yeah. And with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. Because since you guys are too chicken to jump in here. So you two have a good night, and we will see you on this show next week, and who knows where else during the week. So have a good one, guys.